Welcome to RNS Podcast. My name is Dylan.
And I'm Evan.
This week is a special week, isn't it?
Is it special this week?
Out of one special and fantastic marathon into another, Evan.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Sandler has come to a close.
It's come to a halt.
It's come to a...
Because we're coming back next year.
It's dying with a whimper.
Yeah. Or
no, I should say it's taking a break with a whimper. Yeah, because we'll be back next year for sure. For more September goodness. But yeah, Uncut Gems did terrible. That did terrible.
It's so good because I liked the episode and I liked watching the movie.
It was a good episode.
I liked talking about it. So
yeah, it was definitely
for me,
a good
it's a
episode.
win.
It is a win.
Yeah,
it's always a win. But yeah, go watch the freaking Sandler episodes because they're badass, and you guys didn't watch them, so go watch them.
At least Big Daddy did okay. So
Big Daddy did pretty good.
Yeah,
yeah, that's one of our top 10 episodes probably.
Yeah,
in terms of views. But now we're back. It's a year anniversary. We're back with our epic Halloween horror month, and it's freaking epic. And we're here this week with Drag Me to Hell. Are we not?
Yep, Sam Raimi. Another Sam Raimi movie.
Another Raimi movie.
Our fifth Sam Raimi movie.
That is a fact.
Yeah,
that is a fact. Good old classic Sam.
Yeah,
good old classic Sam. So thank you for tuning in. We're going to get into Drag Me to Hell in just a moment. But Evan, did you have anything you wanted to mention or address before we talk about the film?
No, not really.
No? Well, I think next week, I'm going to lock it in. I think I want to do In the Mouth of Madness.
Okay.
I think that's what I want to do. And then the other one, I had it. You were trolling me yesterday. But I was going to tell you what I wanted to do, but I knew you were going to fucking fuck with me. So I didn't tell you, but I forgot. I lost it. There was another good movie I had. Maybe I'll think of it before we record it. But Evan was trolling me all day. He would not answer any RNS questions yesterday. So hopefully I'll be able to remember. But it's gonna be some great horror movies this month.
This week. We have 4 episodes coming out this week.
Subscribe to the Patreon for the other 3.
Yeah.
That's a joke.
Please.
That's a joke for clarity. But do you have any idea what your other movie is?
Yeah.
What was it again?
I'm not gonna say it here.
Whisper it in my ear.
I'm doing the one horror movie that's right under Evil Dead on your Blu-ray collection.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what's funny? That's the one I was gonna pick.
Oh, really? Well, too bad. I already picked it. So
I guess I have another shot. I guess maybe we'll consult each other and we'll pick one together. Because that's literally the one I was just talking about, where I was like, I wish I could remember. So you guys will find that out in 2 weeks.
Yes.
What we're talking about. It's a good film.
It is.
Well, I don't know. I haven't seen it. I do own it on Blu-ray, but I haven't seen it.
I feel like this is going to be kind of spoiling it, but I'm going to say you should not watch that one. You should watch the director's cut. Because that's what I'm going to watch.
Is that not on there? On the Blu-ray?
No. It got re-released. I have it, though, so we can...
It's better, or what?
I prefer it, personally. It's a little bit longer, but... Well, obviously, but...
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll have to discuss that later.
Yeah.
But speaking of which, Drag Me to Hell, I don't know if I watched the unrated cut. I don't think I did. Because you lent me your Blu-ray and I gave it back before I watched it.
They're the same length.
Are they the same length?
Yeah.
It's just like the content?
I think
it's blood.
Yeah.
I think it's like pretty much blood.
Probably. It is a PG-13 movie. I
did actually read the trivia before recording this time. And I think the R rating just had to do with blood. So I think they kind of changed it to like...
Well, the movie is rated PG-13. It's a PG-13 horror.
But then the unrated version. You're talking.
Okay,
Didn't you watch that one?
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Well, the unrated is unrated. No rating at all.
Of course.
Yeah, no rating at all.
But yeah, I watched it on Paramount Plus, which was nice. I think I mentioned this last week. I think I watched Uncut Gems on Paramount Plus as well. Because I had an issue with...
Oh, no, you said Peacock.
Did I say... Paramount? Yeah, Peacock.
Yeah.
No, I watched them both on Peacock. I watched Drag Me to Hell on Peacock as well.
Not on Paramount Plus.
Not Paramount, no.
Yeah.
On Peacock. And I actually did get... I did the free trial this week for, what's it called?
No ads?
No, the free trial for Paramount. So I could watch the finale of Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide.
I thought you already had Paramount.
Paramount Plus, no.
Oh, I thought you did have it.
I thought I did too, but then I went on and my aunt's login didn't work, and I was like, oh, I guess we don't have this.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe I was doing it wrong. But anyways, yeah, I did the free trial so I could watch Nessie Classified School Survival Guide. But Peacock, it does include Drag Me to Hell, and like I said last week with Uncut Gems, it does about 3 minutes of ads, and then you can just watch the movie.
Yeah.
Which is very nice. If you ever watched a movie on like an ad subscription service, it sucks.
Yeah.
You know, because
it's like watching on TV.
Basically, it's like watching on TV, but it feels more
or
like
cable,
you're
I
being
should say.
more like you're being cheated.
Yeah.
When it's on streaming, you know.
I agree. No, I agree.
But I love the way they handle it like that, because I literally like.
Except Tubi, because when Tubi does it, it's awesome.
Tubi's pretty badass.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Tubi's pretty badass, but I just really enjoyed it because I was able to go pop some popcorn, pour my soda, get my candy. I had some M&Ms left over from a couple weeks ago.
Oh.
They were sealed. It was a sealed package of candy. It was not. Yeah. It wasn't just loose M&Ms. It was a sealed package of M&Ms. And yeah, I was able to get all my stuff ready, sit down, watch the movie. It was very nice. So thank you, Peacock. We love you.
You love them. I've never used them, so I can't really say that. But.
Well, they have some good movies. Uncut Gems and Drag Me to Hell.
That's true.
That's a couple good movies.
That's true. Well, so you're saying, okay, because I didn't know your reaction to this movie.
Oh, yeah.
So you think Drag Me to Hell is a good movie?
So I will start off, I guess. Let's get into Drag Me to Hell properly. Positive. I'm positive on it. I lean positive on it.
That's good.
But we'll get into it. So, do you want to do a synopsis? Do you want to do?
Yeah, that sounds good. So, of course, if you haven't seen this movie, it stars Alison Lohman as, what's her name? I can't remember the character's name.
Her name is Christine.
Christine. Okay, yeah. I watched it like a week ago, so those small details already slipped my mind. She played Christine. She is doing well for herself. She's a banker, and she's going for this assistant management position. In her job. She's competing with like this new guy for
Stu.
Yeah, Stu. It's funny. Last night I saw that same actor, the guy who plays him. I was watching Crazy Stupid Love, and he plays a cop at the end of the movie.
So, oh, really?
Yeah, I was like, oh, it's him.
Crazy Stupid Love. That's a good movie.
It was okay. I give it like.
I like that movie.
I give it like.
That's the one with Steve Carell and
Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what you sent me Snapchats of Ryan Gosling, and I was like, what the fuck is like this dude watches any Ryan Gosling movie? What is he watching? So that's what it was. Okay.
Anyways, what was I saying? Okay. So yeah, her and Stu are competing for the assistant management position, and then of course to show her boss that she's worthy of getting the position, she kind of helps like. I wouldn't say she helps fuck her over, but she kind of like doesn't help this lady get an extended like break on her loan or whatever, like paying off the mortgage from the bank. It's like a gypsy lady. I guess she's like a gypsy, right?
Well, we are skipping a bit as well, but I guess.
Well, this is like the basic, what this movie is about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess basically you could say this woman's trying to get a promotion. So like you said, she fucks over the gypsy woman.
Yeah. By not helping her get the extended break
because,
or whatever.
She thinks that's what her boss wants her to do. She's trying
Which
to
is what
boss.
he did want her. Because he was like, oh, yeah, like, he was pretty proud of her.
Yeah.
She does that stuff.
And she's like, you handled that perfectly.
Yeah.
So she fucks over the gypsy woman, curses her, and now she spends the rest of the movie
3 days.
The rest of the movie, 3 days.
3 days.
Avoiding hell.
Yeah.
Avoiding being dragged to hell, as they say.
So it's like she places like the curse on her for the demon or whatever to like fuck with her for 3 days, and then she'll take her soul to hell. Because it's like, the cursed object or whatever.
Yes.
She curses an object she has and gives it back to her. And then, of course, she had 3 days.
Which there's something weird about that, but I'll get in that in a second. I wanted to say, first of all, this is one of the first things I wanted to say about this movie. Badass title.
Drag Me to Hell?
One of the coolest titles I've ever heard.
Yeah, it is.
Drag Me to Hell, that's fucking badass.
It is a cool title.
Because I was reading the IMDb, like I said, I already read the trivia, so we might sprinkle the trivia in, because I read all the good ones. Maybe we'll just sprinkle them in throughout the video, throughout the podcast. But the original title for this movie was The Curse.
Yeah, well, that was the name of the short story that him and Ivan Raimi had written.
But they were also going to title the movie the curse.
Yeah, and it was based on that.
And that title sucks.
Yeah.
Drag Me to Hell is awesome.
Yeah.
That's an awesome title. But yeah, they were going to make this movie after Army of Darkness. Is that...
I think that was around the time they wrote it, sometime in the 90s.
But then he got, sidetracked with the epic Spider-Man, and then, he came back to it.
Yeah.
So
he did a few projects after Army of Darkness before even getting to Spider-Man.
Well, he got sidetracked with a few things, I suppose, but...
such as The Quick and the Dead.
Great film.
For example.
I was going to actually mention that's interesting that, aside from Evil Dead, Spider-Man, the two Sam Raimi movies I've seen, it's like a blonde woman is the protagonist.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
And they're both flawed, I suppose. I don't know what to call them. They're both having some trouble.
Yeah.
But so should we backtrack a little bit? You want to talk about that opening scene?
Yeah, I do want to talk because the scene is fucking hilarious. I'm sorry.
I wouldn't call it hilarious exactly.
For me, it was funny. Well, this whole movie is really funny. It is like a horror comedy.
I actually took
classic
notes.
Sam Raimi style.
But I do agree. There's some genuinely funny moments.
Yeah.
And it's not like... It's deliberate. It's deliberate, for sure.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's like Evil Dead. Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness.
Oh, I do have a question.
Mm-hmm.
I do have a question, Evan.
Yeah.
So this was his first movie after Spider-Man, right?
Yeah, he did this after Spider-Man 3.
So I actually wanted to open with this, but we got a little sidetracked, but that's okay. That's all right.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay, Evan. So, would you rather this movie, and this will put into perspective your thoughts on the movie, I think.
Okay.
Would you erase this movie from history if Sam Raimi were to make Spider-Man 4 instead of this?
That's hard. I'm just going to say no. Just because I like this movie more than I like Spider-Man 3. And it's like...
Well, let's assume... I did want to add this caveat.
Yeah.
It's better than Spider-Man 3, but worse than Spider-Man 2.
This? Drag Me to Hell? Yeah,
No,
obviously.
no, the hypothetical Spider-Man 4 that I'm proposing to you. It's better than Spider-Man 3, but worse than Spider-Man 2.
I don't know. It's so hard because I'm like, I don't want to erase this movie from history, but...
See, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that says,
I'll just keep it how it is. I would just take Drag Me to Hell.
I respect that. I respect that. I think I would do the same, just because I also don't believe in, It's like you say this constantly, and this sounds like a joke. This sounds like a joke, but you say this constantly about, you should never bring back the dead, and that's facts.
Yeah. I learned that from a movie where they bring back dead people.
It never works out. Never works out.
Besides, Dragon Ball Z or some shit, I guess. I guess it works out for
but any other, but that's different, I think.
Or superheroes, I guess.
No, but even superheroes, it's like Superman beats up the Justice League in Zack Snyder's Justice League. I don't know. Anyways, I just thought that would be nice. Put it into perspective your thoughts on the movie.
Yeah, I wouldn't get rid of it.
But I think I agree with you in general. I don't want to change the past.
Yeah,
Who wants to change the past? I don't know. It is how it is for a reason. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
But I do like this movie as well.
I would like to live in the world where they both exist.
Me too, for sure. Yeah, he would have wrapped...
Which is this one, eventually.
Yeah, true. Very true. They will both exist at some point. Spider-Man 4 is coming. It is coming.
It is.
So, I did also enjoy this movie quite a bit. But yeah, let's get into that opening scene. You said it was hilarious. It was the
funny.
Funniest thing you've ever seen. What is it?
Yeah, it's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my fucking life. Yeah, so it's so they're kind of just introducing you to the fucking curse, I guess. I actually kind of wondered, because they don't say it specifically, but I wonder if this was just, the short story. If it just had to do with the kid.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
That's interesting, yeah.
I don't know, that was just something I thought of. But anyways, the kid, he has the same curse that, of course, Christine does. But it's, on the third day, like the last hour of the third day or whatever. They bring him to, this, I guess she's, a priestess or something like that. You know what I mean?
What is she? She's a medium.
Yeah, she's a medium. The parents in, where is it, Mexico, I guess? Yeah, the movie takes place in,
mostly California.
Yeah. So, and that's, right on the border of fucking Mexico.
But I think the opening scene is in Mexico, yeah.
Yeah, so, we'll just assume they're in fucking Mexico. And they bring this kid to go see the lady. And it was years ago, because she's older at the end of the movie, the medium lady. And and he stole something from a gypsy woman, her necklace or whatever, and they won't take it back because, of course, it now has the curse on it. Because they say, we tried to give it back to him or whatever. And he's been seeing it, like, the demon or whatever. I forgot, what is the name of the demon again?
Lamia?
Is that it? Yeah, Lamia.
I think it's Lamia.
Yeah. Oh, the Indian guy, he's funny. I like him.
Wait, do you mean, like, the medium?
Like the first one, not the Mexican woman, but the Indian guy.
The one that Christine seeks out later.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like him. I do.
Anyways, when you said Lamia, I remember him saying it, which is why, yeah. Anyways, they bring him to her to, like, help them out, like, I guess, like, expel the demon or some shit.
Yeah.
But then it's too late, of course, because, like we said, it's on the third day. And as soon as she's about to start, like, praying for him or whatever the fuck she's gonna do, the demon attacks. And this is really funny. He's, like, running. And you get, like, the classic Raimi, like, POV shot of, like, the demon. Like, from the Evil Dead movies.
Oh, yeah.
And it, like, chases him and throws him off the staircase. And then they're like, no, one. And then you see the ground, like, open up. And, of course, the fucking...
He says, ayúdame! And then yeah, the floor opens up in this beautiful, intricate mansion.
Yeah.
Right? And then, it drags him...
It drags him
to hell, as you would assume.
Yeah, and then you get the big title, "Drag Me to Hell," the right there on the screen. So, I like that opening scene.
Yeah, it's good, solid. It reminded me of Uncut Gems, weirdly.
Oh, why do you say that?
Just you open up with like foreign language in like a different place that's kind of like disconnected from the main story.
Yeah.
Not too deep, but I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I think it's a good way to open a movie.
I agree.
Get your interest going.
I agree. Killing a child.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a couple things in this movie. We'll get into the other one.
That's hardcore for a PG-13 horror.
We'll get into the other one later. I want to discuss, but
I know which one it's gonna be.
I think you know, but the way this opens, just like opening up straight up, killing a kid straight to hell. He goes straight to hell.
That's fucked up to think about for real.
Super fucked. Super fucked. Huge nuts to open a movie like that. Huge, giant, fat Sam Raimi.
Well, only Sam Raimi would have the nuts to open a
fat Sam Raimi nuts. Like swollen nuts.
Yeah,
on Sam Raimi. Yeah. So yeah, very gripping. Good opening.
I agree.
Yeah.
And what from there it gets right to Christine.
And then we get introduced to Christine, yeah. And I wanted to mention this. I love the way that her character is set up. Mm-hmm. Because there's a lot of conflict. I almost wish we could see a movie about Christine without
not
hell.
having to do it.
Because I don't know, it's just interesting. It kind of gripped me right away. Because they set up the whole conflict with. The
bank.
Her promotion. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. She's kind of in a competitive position to get a promotion, and she's also trying to. Get her the approval of her boyfriend's family. Yeah. So both of those things are kind of, together, and they both influence her decision to screw over the gypsy woman. Yeah. Because she wants to impress her boyfriend's family, she wants to get the promotion, and I like how the boyfriend thing.
Justin Long.
I actually have something to say about Justin Long, but that'll take a moment. But I just wanted to say it's cleverly written because there's kind of like double stakes there, and they kind of inform each other. Yeah. Where she wants to, she wants the approval of her boyfriend's family, and she wants the promotion, and they kind of feed into each other. It's just clever, and it gets you like invested in the character right away. Yeah, and of course,
they kind of mention you get little bits of this at the beginning of the movie, and I think they kind of mention it. Or I don't remember if the mom mentions it, but at some point in the beginning of the movie, you get the point. It's like, well, he's kind of like well off, and you see it later when you see his. He comes from like a well off family, and he's working at he's a college professor, I think.
He's a professor, yeah. I think.
And then she comes she is raised in like a fucking farm or some shit. Yeah. So it's like they're from like different social classes as well. So like you said, she's trying to, of course, I don't know, to elevate herself, I guess. To appear like
she wants their approval. Yeah, she wants her boyfriend's
and she hasn't met them yet. Also
approval. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's just I don't know. It's really well set up. It endears you to her character right away, and she's a good character.
Yeah. So it sets it up that way, And also, I think, because this is a big thing in the movie.
What else do they set up there?
At some point, you see her, this towards the beginning of the movie as well, her holding the picture of herself from when she was younger.
That happens a little bit later. But
okay,
yes.
okay. Well, anyways, they mention eating a lot in this movie. And of course, this whole movie... I guess I can just go out the gate with this. Of course, this whole movie is like, a lot of it's an allegory for like eating disorders. I think more specifically bulimia.
I guess.
Yeah.
I didn't really pick up on that.
That's what I take from this movie. I know that's like, a lot of people talk about that online already. About that being like,
I guess there's a lot of
this movie.
There's a lot of puking and stuff going in her mouth and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the weight thing, the cake later. How the gypsy woman looks.
Oh.
The gypsy woman has bulimia teeth.
You know what?
And
okay.
her nails.
One thing I did think of is, no spoilers yet. Okay. But, when she's stressed, she eats sweets.
Yeah.
And then later, when the conflict is kind of resolved, she refuses to eat sweets. Like, someone offers it to her, and she's like, oh, no, thank you.
Yeah.
You know, no spoilers. No spoilers. But go watch the movie, dumbass. But, you know.
Yeah, and the gypsy woman's granddaughter also mentions, like, oh, you used to be fat, right? She says that to her.
Yeah.
And then we see the pig queen thing. So, and then, like I said, the gypsy woman herself has, like, features that they specifically focus on. Like, they put, like, her teeth and her nails.
Yeah.
Like, the teeth specifically, that's, like, a thing with bulimia from, like, the acid from you always puking or whatever. Your teeth get fucked up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then nails are from, like, malnutrition or whatever the fuck.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. That's how I take this movie anyways. A big portion of it is, like, I think is allegorical for having some kind of eating disorder. And then we mix that with the stresses going on with her life. Stress eating, like you said. That's how I take it anyways, but...
I did kind of see... I don't know if it's a completely, like, a true allegory. You know what I mean? I think there's, like, an element of that in it. Like, you know, as, like, a theme.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's, like, I don't know if that's what the movie's about, necessarily. You know what I mean? But, yeah, I see what you're saying, for sure.
And like you said, there's all the puking in it, and things going in her mouth.
There's a lot of puking going in the mouth.
Yeah. I don't know.
Interesting.
I just wanted to get that out right out of the gate.
It is interesting, but I think it's more of just like an angle, like a theme, not a theme. I don't know. I don't think it's at the heart of the movie, I guess.
Well, I feel like I feel like that kind of like is like what the curse is, or at least maybe the gypsy woman is like kind of symbolic of like an eating disorder.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it, anyways. But
well, I guess I'd have to.
I am kind of getting ahead of myself, anyways. So
yeah, that's true. Let's dial it back in.
Yeah,
let's dial it back a little bit, and let's talk about Justin Long.
Oh.
So I did want to mention Justin Long. When I saw him show up here, I was like, I don't think I like him.
Oh, I like Justin Long.
I don't think I like him.
Oh, why don't you like him?
I don't know.
Oh.
Because we just saw him in Barbarian. We saw Barbarian a couple weeks ago. And then I saw him here and I was like, yeah, I don't think I want to see him again.
Oh.
I think I'm tired of seeing him.
He's fine. I have nothing against him. He's okay, I guess.
I think he works perfectly fine in this movie, but when I saw him, I was like, eh. I don't know. I don't think I'm a huge fan.
He was fine for the role. It's just like a normal dude, I guess.
No, he didn't take away from the movie or nothing, but I don't like him. I don't think I like him.
That's okay.
But that's okay. That's all right.
He's not for everyone.
That's all right. One thing I wanted to say as well, Christine. So she's played by
Alison Lohman.
Thank you. I don't know who the fuck that is.
She's not like obviously.
She's not super famous.
Yeah.
I looked at her IMDb stuff and I was like, Gamer, the movie Gamer.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I was looking through and I was like, I don't know.
I think she was in Big Fish.
Yes, you're right. She was in Big Fish. I saw that. But she she was good in this, I thought.
Yeah, she went good.
And one thing I think that was like kind of added to her character. Then this is not to be. I don't want to body shame, that beautiful, wonderful actress, but she kind of has that kind of face where it's like she looks like she used to be fat.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense to you.
Well, it works for the role because
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. She kind of like when you really look at her and you think about it, it's like, oh, she kind of has like nice full cheeks and like certain thing. She looks like she could have used to been fat, so it kind of plays into that whole thing. Huh. No, it's just you kind of caught me off guard because I didn't think about that the eating disorder thing. So I guess we'll get to it when we continue to break it down.
Yeah.
So where should we head next, Evan? Where should we head? So the coin, I suppose.
The coin.
You want to mention the coin? Mm-hmm. So we established kind of like the basics about her character. I think Justin Long and Christine have been together for about a year.
Yeah,
as they say in the movie, and she knows that he's a coin collector. So she says, "Oh, I found this at the bank. It's a rare coin. I would like you to have it." And he says, "Well, thank you. That's wonderful."
What a lame hobby to have. You collect coins.
I collect coins.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Jeez,
collecting coins are cool.
Okay. But yeah, so she finds a rare coin in circulation at the bank, and she says, "Oh, this is for you. It's a gift." And he says, "Thank you."
Would you like that if a woman gave you a coin?
Well, I would cream my freaking pantaloons if that happened. Yeah. I mean, I'm not like a hardcore coin collector or nothing, but
that wasn't the question. The question of would you like it?
If I would bust in my pants. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So and then what else does that scene establish? I don't know. They love each other, I guess.
Yeah, and then she overhears that phone call.
Oh yeah, well, and then that phone call establishes what we were saying about her mother, kind of not her mother, excuse me.
Justin Long's mother.
Justin Long, the boyfriend, his mother, disapproves of her.
Yeah.
And she says, "Oh, she's a farm girl. Like, you need a better GF."
Yeah, she's like, "Oh, you need to stop playing around with these girls or whatever. Get someone serious." It's like, damn. And then, of course, like you said, that kind of leads to her resolve also to fuck over the woman to go and get that assistant manager position. Yeah. Because that's what happens directly in the next scene, pretty much. Yeah. We get introduced to that.
I gotta say, okay, so we're transitioning. We're gonna talk about the gypsy woman, right? Her reveal made me laugh out loud.
Was it when she's doing with her nails?
Yeah, you like it's like a very hard cut to her nails. Yeah. Or maybe not, maybe that's not the right word, but you know what I mean. Yeah. It's very jarring when her nails start clacking on the table. Yeah. It made me bust out laughing because the movie from that point, because you have the wacky scene where the kid gets dragged to hell. Yeah. And you're like, Sam, you're nuts. You're crazy. And then you get like this domestic kind of little story for a little bit where it's setting up like, oh, this woman is like, she's hard on her luck at the moment, and it gets pretty normal for a while. Yeah, and then it just kind of like the fucking gypsy's nails tapping on the table kind of cuts through all that, and it just made me laugh out loud. I actually did laugh at that. Yeah, and she's like blind in one eye. Yeah, she has one nasty eye. I don't want to say nasty because some people do look like that, but you know what I mean. Yeah, and they're all disgusting. Right? She has one, nasty eye. Yeah. And
her teeth are fucked up. Which I say again, they focus on that. Like they
make sure you notice see her teeth. Because she takes out
which is weird because they're fake, but they're still fucked up.
That's like, I feel like that's a very Sam Raimi thing to do. Like she has deeply fucked up teeth, and then you find out they're dentures. Yeah. Like why do you have fucked up dentures? Like, I guess she's really worried about like her image. Like she wants to make sure like. I guess if she had pristine, perfect white teeth and it was like that character that looked like that, it wouldn't look right. I don't fucking know, but that's such a weird stylistic thing, But yeah, she comes in, this wonderful gypsy woman. Yeah, and she says, "Will you help me save my house?" Yeah, and basically it winds up, and I think this is really good. One really good thing about the movie is they present Christine with choices that she can choose her choices. Yeah. So there's an important one later I want to get into because that's a great part of the movie. That's much later. But this is the first one
Mm-hmm.
where she's given the choice of, do you want to look worse in front of your boss and give the loan to this woman,
Mm-hmm.
or look good in front of your boss and fuck this lady over?
Yeah.
And she chooses to fuck her over because she wants a promotion. And it's all very well established, like we said. And the gypsy lady, guess what, Evan? She's not too happy.
She's not, no.
No, she's not very happy.
No. Does she try and... yeah, she does try and attack her, like, right there in the bank, right? And then security takes her out.
No, what happens is she begs. She gets on her knees and she says, I've never begged before, but I beg you right now. I sit humbly in front of you. And then she's like, the gypsy lady starts touching Christine.
Yeah.
And she's like, security, security.
Yeah.
You know, because it's fucking, you can't do that. You can't touch people like that. And then she's like, you fucking, what is the word? You disgrace me, you
shame
me,
yeah,
you shame me. She said, you shame me, I humble myself in front of you and you shame me. So then she gets dragged out.
That was a really good scene. I like that.
Oh yeah,
you shame me. I was like, it's creepy.
It is creepy because she seems like she's from such a fucking different reality. Because the whole,
which is funny because you get the scene later when they go to, like, oh, spoiler. Well, it's not spoiler. We're telling the movie.
Her house.
Her fucking funeral in her house. And it reminds me of when they go in Dickovich's apartment in Spider-Man 2.
I can see that. Yeah, I can see that.
It's like her funeral's like an Eastern European party.
Yeah. It's just like...
But we'll get to that.
That scene is bizarre.
Yeah.
I'm excited to talk about that scene, too. That's a good scene. But this one, like I said, like, even watching the child be dragged to hell in Mexico, this feels like a different fucking reality. You know what I mean? Because, like, that first scene in Mexico, you know, that's wacky, but, like, the characters seem, you know, pretty normal. But then when you actually meet this gypsy woman, it's like a fucking car hitting you. Like, it's crazy wacky. And it's fantastic, and she's very disturbing.
She is.
And
which leads to the next scene.
Well, I did want to mention one thing.
Yeah.
One more thing from that scene in the bank.
Mm-hmm.
So while Christine is trying to consult her boss on whether or not she should give her the loan,
mm-hmm.
and then ultimately the boss says, like, it's up to you, which I was saying about the choice thing. But while that's happening in the background, the fucking gypsy woman is like you said, they draw great attention to her teeth and the dentures. Mm-hmm. And she takes out the dentures, and it's fucking disgusting. Yeah. And she has, like, all the goo all over it. And she's eating the candy.
Yeah.
And then you also see in the background, she dumps the rest of the candy into her bag and takes it all. I don't know that if that benefits the reading of it as an eating disorder thing.
Yeah.
But I just was thinking about that because I didn't consider the eating disorder thing really at all. Except for the whole... She eats sweets that comforts herself, and then at the end she, like, doesn't want a sweet because she's, like, content, I guess.
Yeah.
I noticed that for sure, but I didn't think about the eating disorder thing. So I wanted to mention that before we move on.
So yeah, the next scene, I really like the next scene a lot. Of course, it's like late. Well, okay, so her boss is like proud of her, and then she says, then he asks her to finish up that report.
Yes. Which is like basically a good sign towards the promotion.
Yeah.
You know.
And then so she's leaving work kind of late, and she's in like the parking garage or whatever for the bank.
And what do you see of it? What do you see parked in the parking garage?
It's one other car, her car, and then there's like another one, right?
Her car, and then the Oldsmobile.
And the what?
What is it called? Is that what it's called?
Oh, the what? Raimi?
It's the Raimi
car.
mobile.
Yeah, the Raimi car. Yeah.
It's like the yellow '78 Oldsmobile, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't even know. I don't know cars, so.
I think that's what it's called. Anyways, it's Sam Raimi's car that he has in every movie.
Yeah. And then she's like hearing sounds and shit, and she gets in her car, and then this is really creepy. I like this when you see the gypsy woman sitting in the back of her car.
Yeah.
And it's like kind of dark, and like gets in, and of course she attacks Christine, and this whole scene is like really like it's like slapsticky, you know. Evil Dead 2 kind of.
Oh yeah, it's goofy.
And
this goes on for a minute.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
it's an epic action scene between Christine and
this white woman and an old woman in her car. There's an action scene, right?
And the best part I like is when her teeth fall out and she starts biting her with her fucking gums.
That is nasty. That is nasty.
She starts chewing on her chin with her fucking gums.
That might have been the most disgusted I was in the whole movie.
There's one part that looks really stupid, but it's nasty to me later in the movie. The fucking eyeballs. I don't like that.
We'll have to get...
Yeah. And the CGI is so stupid.
I forgot about
The movie had terrible CGI. It's really bad.
I don't think it's all terrible, but the eye... We'll get to the eyes later, but that looked terrible. But yeah, this epic fight scene between the gypsy and Christine.
And there's one part that's kind of like Evil Dead also. I think she was like choking her or something, and you see Christine reach out and like zooms in on the stick. Like they would go reverse, and it was like Evil Dead kind of. So,
well, one part, this is like the part, in my opinion, of this scene where they're fighting. She's fighting with the old woman.
Her biting her with her gums.
Well, that part is nasty, but there's a very fucking ridiculous part.
Yeah.
Where Christine, I think, has a stapler.
Yeah.
And, well, so that's part of it, right? Is she stabs the old lady. This is great, actually. There's a few things here I want to mention. Okay. So she has the stapler. She's trying to get the old lady off her. She staples her in the face a couple times. One of them is like staples her eyelid to her cheek. And then later, Christine is like attempting, like you said, that like zooms in on the gear shift. She's trying to move the car. And then Christine successfully moves the car into drive. And then they're about to crash.
Yeah.
And then when they like stop fighting for a second and realize they're about to crash, the old lady's like eyes pop open and the staple bursts out of her eye and bursts off her cheek. That is so good. That is so great. And then towards the end of their epic fight, I think it's the stapler. It might be something else, but she crams something in her throat. Christine crammed something in the old lady's throat, right?
It was
Was it the stapler?
I can't remember. No, it was. I don't think it was a stapler. I can't remember exactly what it was.
It might have been like the ripped off gear shift or something. I don't know. But she crams something in like impossibly big in the old lady's throat, and then she coughs it up, and it shoots through the window like a bullet.
Yeah, and of course that comes back later. Also, again, see a lot of mouth stuff in the movie. Yeah. She put something else in. We'll get into it, of course, in the old woman's mouth at the end of the film. See a lot of mouth stuff, a lot of puking, things like that.
And the old woman puts her
the teeth, the gums, all.
There's
that.
a point where the old woman puts her like entire like forearm in Christine's mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah. That does happen.
Yeah. So a lot of that.
And this scene is very epic.
It
epic
is,
fight.
yeah.
Epic fight.
I say it reminds me a lot of Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness. That's why I like this scene a lot. It's one of my favorite in the movie.
There's some actual good, like people. There's something I want to mention later about Multiverse of Madness. I'm sorry to bring that up. Okay.
Well, it's irrelevant. I mean,
Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
There's something towards the ending, specifically about the ending, that I want to bring up. But this movie, with the camera work and the style, is like, this is real kind of Sam Raimi stuff.
Yeah.
Not baby watered down stuff. Like 2 years after Spider-Man, the man still had it.
Of course.
He still had it.
He never lost it.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I mean, the last two movies he did suck, but...
Well, I didn't see Oz, but I'll see it eventually. I still gotta see it,
yeah. It's not good.
And, yeah, Doctor Strange sucked.
Yep.
We can blame Oz on him, but Doctor Strange, we can just blame... He didn't make it, so, you know.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. They were just like, write down on a piece of paper, like, what you do.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know, hard zoom-ins and shit. And they're like, okay, we'll incorporate that.
Yeah. Kind of.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, but anyways, at the end of their fight, she rips out her button from her jacket.
Yes.
And of course she curses it and gives it back to her. I like this too when she's like doing the fucking curse. It's like Christine starts like kind of like getting like delirious. Like I don't know if delirious is the right word, but she kind of.
I know
like,
what you mean. Yeah.
Like dizzy. Like you know what I mean? Yeah.
Disoriented.
Yeah. And then she gives her back the button, of course, and the old woman fucking leaves. And then she calls the police, because, you know, obviously, you should probably do that.
You've been assaulted.
Yeah, you get assaulted by an old fucking bitch in a parking garage.
You have been assaulted.
Yeah.
So.
And her boyfriend just along comes as well. Gives her a big old hug, and they drive home after that horrible assault.
But do they drive home?
Do they? Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, they're driving home, but then I think she wants to stop to see the medium.
Okay, yeah,
They're
oh
talking
yeah,
about
she
it,
does.
yeah.
Okay, so that I was like, oh, is that later? No, it's now. Yeah.
It's kind of funny. At first, they're kind of playing it off as like a joke. After she got assaulted, she's like, "Damn, that crazy bitch came and found you," or whatever. Like, yeah. She's like, "Oh, they'll go." I think he's like, "Yeah, they'll find her, they'll get her, or whatever, something like that."
Well, yeah, he's like, oh, like we'll make sure security walks you to your car tomorrow night, or
yeah,
shit like that.
And
well, it's crazy because like he takes it pretty lightly, Justin Long's character, but it's like, dude, like her car is like destroyed.
You have a point. Yeah,
I don't know.
it's okay. The insurance money, they'll get the insurance.
Yeah,
money on it.
yeah.
Probably the insurance probably hits a little bit different, like after being assaulted too. Like maybe they give you they're a little bit nicer. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, all right, this definitely wasn't your fault. We'll throw you a bone. We'll throw you a bone.
Yeah, any other situation, they'll find any other way to fuck you over. Give you as little money as possible.
But if it's like there's definitely criminal charges on someone else, then it's like, okay, all right, maybe.
I don't even remember why she went to see The Medium. Anyways,
well, is it this after the assault or is
it?
I feel like they go see The Medium at a little later.
No, it's right at, it's pretty. Well, this is a short movie.
It is short. It's
like 90 something minutes.
Barely over 90 minutes. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it happens like right then.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I can't remember exactly why. I said sorry. I watched it like a week ago. But anyways.
Well, they pass the Medium place, and then she kind of thinks like, "Oh, I want help." But I feel like there's like a scene of her alone in her apartment getting tormented before she wants to see the Medium.
No, I don't think so.
No?
Not yet.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, either way, if we think of anything relevant to say, I think between then, if there is anything, we'll think of it. But. Yeah, they go see the Medium.
Yeah.
And she's very concerned.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, this shit is bullshit," or whatever.
Yeah.
Justin Long. And then we see him, and of course it's the Indian dude, the guy from Avatar. I don't know the name of the actor.
He's badass.
Yeah, he's funny in this.
Yeah, he's good.
I like when he's like, "It'll be $60," and Justin Long gives him the platinum card. He's like, "Platinum, perfect."
No, I was gonna say, no lie, I laughed at that as well out loud. That's the next time after the nail tapping. That's the next time I laughed out loud. That was funny. That was funny. But yeah, he's a good boyfriend, you know? Like she's clearly very serious about it. He doesn't understand, but he's like, okay, you know what?
Well, you see later, he gives her a shit ton of fucking money.
Well, yeah.
So you go see the
that's a different
thing,
But here,
I wouldn't have been doing all that.
Because originally, the Indian guy, he's like, oh yeah, $60, and Justin Long's like, $60?
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, I'll pay for it. And he's like, no, it's okay.
Yeah.
And then of course the classic,
the platinum.
The platinum, very good, very good. That's funny. That's funny as fuck.
Yeah, and then he starts reading. It's like her palm, I guess. He starts reading whatever it is. The
he does a psychic
shit.
reading for
her.
Yeah.
And then he like sees the fucking demon or whatever.
The Ligma.
Yeah, the Ligma. The classic Ligma. And he like freaks out. He's like, oh, I refund you your money. He's like telling him to leave or whatever. He's like,
well, I did want to, Evan, once again,
mm-hmm.
I want to backtrack a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
A tiny bit.
Yeah.
Okay. I just really like the way that this scene, it kind of makes you think for a second that he's just doing a cold read.
Yeah.
And he's a scam artist.
Yeah.
You know?
Because, he says something at first. I can't remember.
He basically says, like, oh, you work with money. And just as long as, like, oh, please.
Yeah.
Everyone works with fucking money. But then, he's like, oh, and you're missing something. And then it's like, everyone's fucking...
Oh, yeah, this. I like this part, yeah.
So, I think it's clever the way that it's like... It seems like he's a con artist, but he's really not. And it kind of... I like the way that plays out.
Yeah.
I think that's good.
He says, like, oh, you've lost something. He's like... And I forgot exactly what he said.
Or he says you're missing... He says you're missing something, and then he says someone's taken something from you.
Yeah. And I like this when a button. He like doing it on it. He like moves her, and you see the button missing from her jacket.
Because those are very, very like obvious cold reads.
Yeah.
Like if you don't know what a cold read is, it's it's like basically what like a fake psychic does.
Yeah.
Where they're like, oh, you're like do you know someone that has a D in their name? And they're like, oh my god, yes. And then if you say no, they're like, oh no, wait, like it's something else.
It's an A.
And he does that.
Yeah.
He does that in that scene where he kind of backtracks on something he said. And he's like, oh no, someone took something from you. So it's like very obviously like a cold read, but it's not because he's real psychic. I don't know. It's very well done. It's good. Plays with your expectations in a way.
I agree.
It's good. But in general, yeah, he's just a good character.
Yeah.
He's a funny actor. But yeah, but he says, notice she's missing the button.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like you were saying, he does the...
He starts, like, picking up on, like, her energy or whatever.
He further reads her,
yeah.
Her energy. Amber is the color of it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she, or he, rather, he gets freaked out.
Yeah.
And he says, oh, like, take your money back. Like, it's a... Or I like the way he says it, too. He's like, oh, of course I'll refund your money.
Yeah.
Like, and then she continues to press him about, like, what's going on.
Would you have been scared in that situation?
Yes. I'm going to say yes.
I feel like if it was after I got assaulted by, like, this horrible, disgusting woman and she does whatever with my button, I'd be pretty scared right now.
I mean, it's like, dude, a gypsy woman attacks you and then she's like, because remember the gypsy woman, what does she say? She says, like, now you'll be begging me for that. That's great. And, oh, man, she should not have taken that button. But then we wouldn't have a movie, would we? So,
yeah. You'll be begging me for...
But yeah, if you go to, like, a fucking, like, hack psychic...
Yeah.
And then they're, like, terrified of you, and they say they'll give you a refund and for you to leave. That's scary. That is scary. I mean, maybe in real life, that's, like, a long game thing.
Yeah.
Where there's, like, oh, well, you have to continue to pay me money, so I'll help you.
Yeah.
Or, like, something in real life, maybe, but I don't know.
That should have been the twist of the movie.
He was long conning
her.
Yeah,
she was actually fine, yeah.
He was long conning her. That would be cool. That'd be cool. That'd be less...
make a movie about that.
That'd be less fucked up than What Happens.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Little hint. But anyways, so yeah, she.
He did keep the money though. They mentioned that in the car.
Yeah, and that's another thing that leans towards him being like a hack.
Yeah.
Like fraud.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
It's because like, well, he offered the money back, but didn't he keep it?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he did. But she also did press him for more information. So, I don't know. Interesting. The movie does a good job, I think, of like balancing stuff like that. Where it's like, Christine's not like a terrible person, but she maybe does something wrong. Mm-hmm. She lies about it.
Which we can get into.
But she's not a bad person. She is a good person.
Yeah.
Well, no, maybe she's not.
We can get into it.
Yeah, we will get into it.
She does do some fucked up shit.
But like I said, like I don't know, in general, yeah, just does a good job of balancing that type of stuff.
I agree.
Yeah, it's very clever in that way. Mm-hmm. And then what happens after this, Evan?
Well, they're driving home and then, I guess at this point they're not living together. I think. It's not very clear, but I think she, like, lives in this house by herself, but her and Justin Long don't actually live together.
Yeah, I think you're right,
yeah. And they go home and Justin Long leaves for a moment. I don't remember exactly why. And then this is where she first gets attacked by the fucking demon.
Yeah.
Because she pushes her against the counter or whatever. She gets like her lip like busted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. And then Justin Long comes back. They call the police.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And then the police are kind of like, oh, she probably is just like still freaked out from earlier with the old woman. And Justin Long say, it's okay, baby girl.
Yeah.
He says,
And then they fuck.
And they fuck, and then they're like, oh, let's go on a trip at the end of the movie. At the end of the movie, we go on a trip.
That's what he says. He says, in like 35 minutes from now, let's go on a trip.
Yeah. And she's like, okay.
No, it's actually, by this point, probably more than 35 minutes. Probably like 45.
Yeah, we're still in like the first half, kind of, I think. And then, she say, okay, that sounds fun. We'll go on a trip. And then she has a terrible nightmare, of course. Mm-hmm. And, it's one of the nastier parts of the movie is, the demon kind of throws up in her mouth.
Yeah.
The maggots and stuff.
Oh, yeah, you see maggots more than once in this movie, I think.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, So about the magazine, there's also the fly, which flies into her mouth.
The fly is consistent.
So back to the bulimia thing. What this made me think of was like rotting insides, maybe.
Rotting, yeah.
Yeah. But especially with the fly staying like inside
decomposition.
her. Yeah. That's what I thought.
Well, the fly is consistent with the two from the beginning of the movie. Because I noticed that when the first, that first like Mexican child in the 60s, right? The when he takes the cursed necklace out of his pocket, a fly flies out.
Oh yeah.
And then the fly is consistent.
Yeah.
You know, throughout the movie as a thing.
Yeah, it's also just like, oh, you're dying, you're about to go to hell. So
yeah,
you know what I mean.
Flies, death, decomposition, all kind of runs parallel to each other. But they also there's that one shot with the fly that's fucking crazy. I think it might be during this nightmare part, right?
Well, what happens? I can't remember.
There's like a super close up of the fly.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, it is. It's when it flies in her mouth.
When it first goes in her mouth,
and it wakes her up.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yes. So yeah, she wakes up. This what happened, and she's like coughing her ass off, and this dude's just sleeping. He sounds asleep.
Bro, Justin.
Yeah, he's sound asleep, and she's coughing her ass off. And then what happens from there?
Well, I just thought that was interesting. I should have written down something about it, but I just thought that whole nightmare sequence was good. And the way, okay, so that's kind of what it was. The fly, excuse me, the fly is like prodding her. It's like walking on her face, and it's like making her twitch, and it like crawls up one nostril and crawls out the other.
Yeah,
and
I remember that.
It flies around, and then it kind of pushes her into her lips and goes into her throat.
Yeah, and that's when she wakes up.
And, well, is it?
Yeah, because she starts coughing her ass off.
No, she doesn't.
She doesn't?
No, she coughs. She wakes up coughing when the fly like goes into her mouth.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then like the demon comes and like pukes like maggots and stuff all over her face. And then she wakes up for real in the morning.
Yeah.
With Justin Long, and she's like, "Oh, I couldn't sleep or something."
Yeah.
No, she says I couldn't wake up. That's what she says. So yeah, I don't know. I thought that whole part was with the fly like kind of prodding her like that was like really good. And there's one part where like the fly like flies right into the camera, and it looked pretty good for 2009 fly effects, you know.
Well, we have talked about 1980s fly effects, of course, in the fly episode from last Halloween's marathon.
Bit of a callback to last year's Halloween RNS marathon.
So I can't compare it to those fly effects, but you know, because those were pretty good fly effects.
But for me, that was one of the best. Maybe one of the best, like, creepy parts of the movie. Just that whole fly part. I thought that was good. And it was good, like, the way it, like... I don't know. It was good. They weren't afraid to show her pores.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it was super close-up on her when the fly is, like, walking on her. They weren't afraid to, like, show her pores and shit, which, like, Hollywood movies are usually afraid to do.
I don't like it going through the nose. That seems painful.
I like that.
Well, no, it's like, it's a good creepy visual, but I don't like the thought of it.
I don't like the thought of it either. But,
good thing going in your nose, I don't like that. It's, like, painful.
Well, I don't like the mouth. The idea that, like, a bug really could, like, while you're asleep, and assuming you don't sleep with your mouth open, I feel like a lot of people do. But she had her perfect little lips pressed together. And, like, a bug can really just crawl in there. You know, doesn't matter.
I like that.
The fly just pushes its way in her beautiful fucking lips.
And he did.
Yeah.
But he comes back. He lived.
He does live.
Yeah.
And there's something else that... Yeah, there's a lot of mouth stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. The director's poorly disguised fetish, anyone?
Yeah.
Nah, I think it's a theme. But there's another thing that comes out later of someone's mouth that was in their mouth for a while, I guess. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
We'll get to that later.
We will get to it.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the cool fly part... And then what happens after this cool fly part? This cool nightmare sequence?
Well, I think... So Justin Long leaves or whatever. He's going to work or some shit. I can't remember.
And then she goes to work.
Yeah. And, What exactly I think it's like, oh, things are still looking good for her at work.
Yeah.
And then,
Oh, there's one...
Yeah. Oh, and then, like, she starts, doesn't she get attacked again here at work?
Shit happens, but
because she has like the nosebleed, right?
She doesn't get attacked, but shit starts happening.
Yeah.
Yes. But I did want to mention one thing, if you don't mind. Super backtrack. I'm sorry. This is a super backtrack. But I did want to mention, I really like the way it sets her up. It's kind of like nowadays there's a lot of talk about feminists, whatever, blah blah blah. But I think the way that this portrays kind of how women are treated in the workplace was really good in the beginning. And it kind of plays into the whole her versus Lou thing for the promotion. And everything.
Yeah.
But Stu. They call him Lou?
Yeah.
Stu. So in the beginning, she's like, oh, the boss is like, oh, can you take your lunch now?
Yeah.
And then on your way back, can you get me a sandwich?
Yeah.
And then, like, fucking...
The mayo thing. Yeah, Stu was like, yeah, get me whatever.
And Stu was like, oh, yeah, get me one, too. That sounds great. And then, like you said, like, she brings it back, and he's like, oh, it's wrong. You actually... And I think it's clever the way they do it, too, because he says spicy mustard. He says, oh, with spicy mustard. So that kind of sticks in your brain for some reason. It just sounds...
Yeah, and
sounds
then
like
he's
something...
then he says, oh, I asked for no mayo, which he did not.
And then, I think because of the way he's like, oh, yeah, I'll have that, too, and with spicy mayo. It kind of sticks in your brain, and then later when he's like, "Oh, I asked for no mayo," or spicy mustard, not
spicy mustard.
But my point is like the way it's phrased, and then the way it pays off, it kind of sticks in your brain, and you're like, "You're a fucking asshole."
He gaslit her,
and like the way he is a gaslighter, and he's a piece of shit.
He is, which we would see in this scene, as I was going to mention. Yeah.
Yes.
He deals with the report or whatever.
So back
for
to
the
work.
Big loan, big loan she's working on. Yeah, because I can't remember exactly what happens. Again, I apologize. I watched it like a week ago, so the small details are slipping my mind right now. But she gets like attacked at work, and her nose starts bleeding.
Well, what happens is, Evan, I've watched this recently, so I will be able to tell you.
Oh yeah.
So
you watched it today, right?
I did. I watched it like an hour ago. So, she sits him down. What's her name? Christine sits down. Is her name Stu? Stu?
That's what you said his name was Stu. I think it is Stu. I don't remember Lou.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's Stu.
They're very similar names.
Yeah.
But, she sits down her coworker. And they, he says, oh, you're supposed to teach me the thing today.
Yeah.
You're supposed to catch me up on,
what an asshole.
Some realtor shit. One thing I do really like about the movie is every time she starts going deep into realtor shit, something scary happens, like instead.
Yeah. She's not a realtor.
Oh, not realtor.
Banker?
Banking, loan stuff. But they're talking about loans for houses and shit. I don't know. You know what I mean? But every time she starts going into, business shit, it's, completely, almost immediately cut out by some horror stuff.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I thought that was pretty funny and pretty clever. So she starts going into it and trying to explain it to him, and then, Stu's hands turn into the gypsy's hands, tapping on the table.
Yeah.
And then she starts, coughing and nosebleed.
Oh yeah, doesn't the blood shoot out of her nose?
And then eventually that made me laugh as well, because the boss comes over and she's like, "All right, Christine, are you okay?"
Yeah.
And then she kind of lifts her head up, and then the blood just sprays out of it's a scary movie or something. I don't know. It was pretty funny. And then she kind of she has to excuse herself and go, and then I think that's when Stu takes the opportunity to steal the thing. And then I think now she
goes to see the psychic.
She's compelled to go back to the psychic.
Yeah.
Yes.
And of course he tells her what's going on. He tells her about the Lamia.
Oh yeah.
About the Lamia.
Very scary.
After 3 days, he takes your soul to fucking hell.
Oh no.
He takes you to hell.
Oh no.
Your whole physical being.
He drags your fucking heart and soul to hell.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Which is scary.
It is pretty scary.
I would be scared if I found out in 3 days. That's worse than just being like, oh, in 3 days you're gonna die. In 3 days you're going to hell.
Yeah, fuck the ring. Fuck the ring, man.
It's like, oh, okay, I'm dying. Well, maybe it's just nothingness, or maybe I'll go to heaven.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'll die, but it doesn't guarantee that I go to hell forever. So, that's one thing I was thinking about during this movie is the stakes are pretty high.
Yeah.
Because it's isn't it? I've never seen The Ring. But in The Ring, it's like, oh, you died.
Yeah.
It's that's pussy shit. Sam Raimi knows how to get you.
You're going to hell.
You're going to hell in
That's
3
scary.
days.
Yeah. And yeah, again, that makes the opening scene even better, actually, too. Because you actually, you get, a tangible, visible, feeling of it. You know what I mean? What's going to happen.
Yeah, because that's good.
If they just started with her and they just told you, oh, in 3 days you're going to go to hell. I think the fact that they showed you at the very beginning makes it, scarier. You know what I mean?
And the fact that, I love the movie is just set up so perfectly in my opinion.
Or like you were saying about the fraud, like maybe he's a hack. It makes it real, like it's real.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Yeah, there would be no question in your mind about this shit. But anyways, yeah. I think that's another reason the opening is really good.
Yeah, I love the way that it establishes that shit is real, and then you get to like kind of like quote unquote like the real world for a little bit.
Yeah, and
then the gypsy comes back, and it's kind of I don't know. It's very well constructed.
But there's also another aspect of it, and of course I'm gonna spoil the ending a little bit also.
No.
Well, I can say when the child starts getting dragged, you only see the shadow of it.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, so they don't so you get it, you see it happening, but you don't entirely see it.
That looks so fucking awesome.
The shadow.
I have to say, because it's a big mansion.
Yeah.
And then the kid is on like the bottom floor, and then
they're upstairs. The parents and the
exorcist type woman, the medium, is on the balcony.
Yeah.
And their parents, and then like there's this crazy hell light coming from the hell portal, and he's being dragged, quote unquote, dragged to hell. TM. And the fucking light casting against his hand is like perfectly cast on the medium's face, and it's like zooming in on her face. There's all this wind. It's fucking awesome.
He's screaming "Ayúdame!
Ayúdame! Ayúdame!" It's fucking badass. It's fucking so good. It's great.
That poor child.
That poor child went to hell forever.
As of right now, he's still in hell.
He's still in hell to this day. He's in hell right now. It's been 20 years.
It hasn't been 20 years. Well, actually, no. That was like that scene is like in like the 80s or something.
Yeah, he's been in hell for like 80 years.
80. No, I don't know.
60.
It's probably like I don't know when that scene took place. It's like the 70s or 60s. I don't think it's the 60s because she didn't look that old.
It's like the mid 60s.
Maybe it's something like that.
I think so.
Anyways, I don't know, but
either way,
he's been in hell. For
he's long been in hell. He's been in hell longer than we've been alive,
and he's still got a while. I mean.
Forever. Yeah. Forever.
That's not bad. Like, just the concept of burning in hell forever. I hate that.
Well, what Andy said, our classic friend Andy, is pretty funny.
Of course, yeah. See, not to get too much into religion, but we are talking about a movie that has to do with fucking hell, so... Of course, Andy was like, oh, like, hell just sounds so stupid. It's like, they really said, like... He's like, oh, you burn forever. Like, it's like, of course, they told you the most horrible thing they could think of.
It's like the laziest, worst thing that you could think of, yeah. That's basically what he was saying. That's fucking hilarious.
You burn forever.
It's like, oh, you burn forever. Yeah.
But if it's real, I'll suck.
Sorry, God.
Yeah, I'm probably going there, so it'll probably be pretty bad.
I think we're alright.
It'll probably be pretty bad.
As long as we don't run into any gypsies, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
If that ever happens to me, if she's like, please, if she starts begging, I'll be like, okay, whatever you want. Like, yeah, I'll be
just don't take anything she gives you.
Or that, yeah.
Yeah. She's like, fuck you, bitch.
Or when you get into your epic action scene with her, you make sure she's dead. You kill her.
Oh, you kill her.
Yeah, that's what she should have done.
Christine would have gone to jail.
Yeah. You think so? I don't think so. She got assaulted.
Self-defense, right?
Yeah.
But there's an element of like... I don't know, whatever. But there's an element of like, you know,
if I'm getting bitten on my fucking chin by her disgusting gums, I would kill her. I don't give a shit. Would you not?
But the thing is, like, when you go to court and the jury, they're asking the jury, like, do you think this woman needed to use deadly force to defend herself? They're gonna say no. So you're going to jail for a little bit.
You might be.
That's better than hell forever, though.
That is true.
But I don't know if she knew that. But anyways.
Well, I would have stapled her finger shut so she can't do any weird curse.
That thing with the staple popping open with the eye was so good.
I'll staple her hands shut so she can't do any weird curses.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Staple her mouth shut.
She should have done that, yeah, so she couldn't have spoken.
Stop talking to fucking Satan.
Yeah.
You should end up in hell anyway for doing that. You know what I mean? We'll get into that later.
She probably did go to hell. Maybe she didn't give a fuck.
Her fate, we'll get into later.
Maybe she's royalty in hell.
I don't know what she is, Evan. I don't know. But, yeah. So we left off with Christine.
Yeah.
And Christine is now freaked out.
Yeah, and she goes and talks to the psychic, the Indian guy.
And the psychic man says...
The Lamia. He's coming to take you to hell.
He's coming to take your soul in 3 days.
In 3 days. I guess at this point, two more days, right?
Yes, 2 days.
And he tells her about, like, a few different ways you could possibly save yourself,
Yes.
including sacrificing an animal, which we'll get into. Of course, that
may come into play.
Yeah, or giving the object to somebody else. That's another way. Or I think you could also ask the person to lift the curse, right? Which is the first.
I think
she goes and tries.
I think he said you can talk to the person that cast the curse, and you can also. He said you can also talk to the demon, which all of these things come into play.
Yeah,
they're all attempted, which is kind of cool. And then I think pretty much right after, does she go?
She goes to talk to the.
She goes to talk to the lady.
Woman. Yeah.
She gets from work, I guess. She gets the lady's address.
Yeah, that makes sense. She would definitely have her fucking address if they're giving her the.
She has like she has kind of like a file on her when she pulls up to the house. So yeah, she finds the lady. And then her beautiful daughter or
granddaughter,
relative, whatever. Yeah,
I think it's her granddaughter.
Her beautiful granddaughter opens the door, and she has a delicious Bud Light in her hand. She does.
Did she have a Bud Light?
Yeah, she did.
That was definitely.
She had an aluminum can, which I was like,
places.
2009 aluminum can.
Did they do? Did Bud Light do aluminum cans?
I guess because the movie can't change the year it came out. So
no, I don't know. Have I seen Bud Light in a can? I probably have. I don't know.
No, not an aluminum can. I mean, aluminum bottle.
Oh, an aluminum bottle.
Aluminum bottle. That's what I meant to say.
I don't know if I've seen that for Bud Light. I think I've seen that for like Coors or some shit.
Yeah. But I was like 2009 aluminum bottle. Interesting. Oh. But anyways, yeah, she answers the door. She's like, fuck off, and then she's like, wait, please, and then
Yeah.
I don't know if there's too much to say.
And she lets her in.
Yeah.
And of course, it's her fault. She died.
Oh yeah. So the daughter is like, oh, so you're gonna make it right then, right? And she's like, yeah, I'm gonna make it right. And then she comes in and she's fucking deceased.
Yeah.
The old gypsy lady that cursed her is fucking deceased. And her nasty fucking corpse, falls all over Christine.
Oh yeah, so she didn't even go to her house. She went to her she knew she was staying somewhere else. I think she had like, you know how you have like an emergency contact? I think it was like that. The bank already took her fucking house.
They mentioned that.
Yeah.
Previously too, which is like this movie.
Yeah, she says I'll be forced to stay with my granddaughter.
Yeah, and she's like, I don't want to burden her.
Yeah.
So the movie is very tightly written. There's a lot of stuff that's very tightly written. Short movie, tightly written. Respect it.
Respect.
And I wanted to find out too. I did look up. Sam Raimi wrote it.
Yeah, him and Ivan Raimi.
Yeah. Which is badass.
Yeah.
Which is badass. Because I was gonna say the fucking the movie itself, not even just he zooms into stuff, so it's Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
Like the movie itself feels very Sam Raimi.
Yeah, of course.
Just like all the, and I'll get into it later. The twist at the end and like the various things. So it just feels very baked in, like 100%.
Yeah, of course.
Like his style. So I was not surprised to find out that he wrote it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the disgusting corpse of the gypsy woman falls on top of her.
Oh yeah, she goes to look at it or whatever, and I don't remember exactly how it falls on her.
That kind of tripped me. I was like, where did we get to this? When did this happen? But yeah, it winds up falling on top of her.
And it starts letting out this disgusting green fluid.
Yeah, and her fucking bile is just leaking out of her mouth into Christine. And then Christine's like, get it off.
Yeah, imagine that happening to you.
Like a fucking dead fucking rictus body.
Yeah.
Puking bile into your mouth.
Yeah. That'd be awesome.
That would be kind of cool. Yeah, I'd feel like the main character for sure.
But yeah, that's like more of the vomiting imagery there.
More stuff in her mouth. Yeah. Always stuff in her mouth.
That's really nasty. Yeah. But also, so we didn't talk about it. It's like they're having like a party. Like we said, it's like Mr. Dickovich's apartment.
It's literally like everything says this is not a funeral except there's a dead body.
Yeah.
Like it's it just looks like you said like
it's like a family gathering.
It just looks like an Eastern European party in like some Californian home. But there also is like
and it has like the music playing too, like in Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Remember when he opens the door?
Yeah, Sam Raimi must have had some wacky neighbors or something.
Yeah.
That he continues to draw inspiration from.
For real.
Yeah, but it's literally just a party, but there's an open-faced corpse like on the fucking table.
Can we talk about something really quick?
Please.
To reference Spider-Man again. This time they were on the receiving end. They were asking for money in Spider-Man 2. Of course, Mr. Dickovich, and now the Eastern European is saying, no, give me an extension on the loan. Ooh, how the tables have turned.
How the turns table.
Yeah. Anyways. But yeah, so of course that's nasty, disgusting.
Well, so I guess that's like, doesn't she just leave?
Yeah,
It's like, it's just a loss. She realizes like, oh, I can't.
because she's fucking dead.
So yeah, I guess there's like a checklist of like stuff she can do to undo
Yeah.
the curse. That one, obviously she's dead. She can't undo the curse, so that's fucked.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, giving the object, he actually doesn't mention that until the end. Because he didn't want her to, like, give the curse to somebody else.
That's a good
because
reason.
that's deeply evil.
There's usually in a movie or a TV show or whatever, when someone's like, well, why didn't you
they
tell
save
me
this
this?
information until
Why
the
didn't you
end.
tell me this all along? It's the easy solution.
Yeah.
It's cleverly done here because that's the most fucked up
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
That's the most fucked up one. So he's like, I don't want to like send someone to hell.
Yeah.
So, but we'll get into that as well.
Yeah.
And then what does she do now? What happens now?
Well, the next one's sacrificing a fucking animal.
Which, of course...
So they have the kitten, which you see at the beginning of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And she's thinking about it at first. She doesn't know if she wants to do it or not.
Well, she doesn't want to.
Yeah.
She doesn't want... Because she goes and talks to him. She's like, well, I'm a vegetarian. Like, I don't want to kill animals. Like, I don't want to kill an animal. And then, she gets, beaten by the spirit.
That's interesting, too, the vegetarian thing.
Uh-huh.
Of course, it's like a smaller thing. But I think that also kind of plays in a little bit.
To the eating thing?
Yeah, with her, how she used to be versus now.
Like, such a strong change.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because she had the pig queen or whatever, remember in the picture when she's younger?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, and she grew up on a farm. I mean, I doubt, well, I
think this is the scene where... Is it, or... It's when she's baking the cake. I don't know if she's baking the cake now.
Is it in this part?
Yeah, because she opens up the cookbook, and there's, like, an old picture of her at the pig thing.
Yeah, okay, so this is
when
when she sees it.
She's young, and she's fat, and you see it, and she tears it up.
Mm-hmm.
Which is good storytelling, isn't it?
Oh, of course.
And then she gets assaulted.
Yeah.
Again, by the spirit. Does she not?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there's anything particularly interesting about that part.
I can't remember what, like...
She kind of gets just, like, tossed around, and the room gets messed up.
Yeah.
Probably the old lady appears in, like, the mirror or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
That's not the part when she puts her hand in her mouth, right? I don't think it's that
No,
part yet.
I remember when that is.
Yeah, okay.
That's when she's selling stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
But, so she's like, fuck this, I'm gonna kill my fucking cat.
Yeah.
It's fucked up, but it's played, like, very comedically, her killing the cat. She's like, ah! She's, like, screaming, like, in pain that she has to do this. You see, like, the cat's blood shooting all over her.
I remember, there's a cut, where after she gets attacked, you can see her, like, sitting there for a second, or something like that. And then it cuts, and she's, like, walking around with a knife, like, here, kitty, kitty. And I was like, that probably played good in the theater. That was probably a good laugh in the theater.
Yeah, it's like the way she's screaming, you just see the blood, like, ridiculously, like, shooting over her. I don't know, it's well done. It's very goofy. Poor cat.
That hurts.
Yeah, it wasn't even a cat, it was like a kitten. It was a small kitten.
It was a kitten. It was like a barely, like, slightly growing kitten.
Yeah.
Between, teenage cat.
Yeah.
But that was fucked.
It was fucked.
That was fucked. I didn't want to watch that. And this brings me to my next point. Previously I mentioned, huge fat nuts for Sam Raimi to open the movie.
Yeah.
With the murder and sending to hell of a child. Also, huge nuts. Protagonist murders a cat.
Yeah.
A kitten. On screen.
On screen.
Pretty big nuts.
Pretty big nuts.
Those are pretty big nut moves.
Yeah.
So.
The fact that it played for laughs, though, does kind of, like,
soften the blow.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
I guess.
It's not disturbing when it's, like, in a comedic way.
Kinda.
Like, versus if you saw her, like, and they don't show it, also. Versus, like, if you saw her just, like, fucking, like, strangle a kitten or something, it's like, Jesus Christ. But you know what I mean? The fact that they play it for laughs, it's, like, it's less disturbing.
It hurt me. It hurt me to watch. I'm a cat lover. I love cats.
Yeah.
I'd rather, like, because the dude said, it could be a chicken, and so she's like, oh, I guess I have to kill my cat.
Yeah. It doesn't work. I don't even remember exactly why it doesn't work. She didn't do it right. You have to do, like, a fucking sacrifice.
Well, no, she it's not that she didn't do it right. Later, because she goes back to the medium again, and she continues to go to him for help for the rest of the movie. But, she basically says, like, she goes in pissed and is like, I killed my fucking cat and it didn't work.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, these are, like, unknowable fucking beings. Like, we can't, I don't know what's gonna work. Like, we're fucking,
Yeah.
we're shooting blind. Like, I don't fucking know what's gonna work.
Yeah.
Which, like, that made enough sense for me. And then later on, the demon itself is like, I don't want your fucking cat.
Yeah.
You know?
Is it when he possesses the goat? When he says that?
No.
Because then he's, like, actually talking. Like, the Lamia. It's like him talking.
Yeah, but he does a few things in that part.
Yeah.
I don't remember, but he throws the cat up, remember?
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh, is it going to be alive? And no, it's not. It's not. It's like a rictus cat.
That would have been nice, right?
But at least maybe the cat didn't go to hell, that means? If he didn't accept it. So, maybe the cat went to heaven? I don't know.
They don't have souls, so.
Alright. Anyways.
Yeah, and also I like the scene right after she goes to the guy, and then Justin Long comes. She's like buried. She's in the backyard with a fucking shovel, and he comes home, or well, it's not his home, but he comes in there, and she like throws the shovel, and he goes to talk to her, and she has like some of the blood on her fucking, jacket. She's like wearing like it's her shirt, it's her jacket, whatever, and he's like, oh, what happened? She's like, no, it's what did she say it was?
She's like, oh, I was cooking his tomato sauce.
Yeah, she said tomato juice. Yeah, that was it. Which is like, that's not what tomato juice was.
Not even close. Not even close.
Yeah, she said she was cutting tomatoes and tomato juice.
He's a good boyfriend.
Yeah. Because I would have been like, what the fuck?
Like, bitch, that is clearly blood.
Yeah.
Like, it's just that wine. Like, maybe wine?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I guess wine's not that thick. I don't know. But neither tomato
But
juice.
it's that dark.
Yeah.
At least, like,
tomato juice.
because tomato juice is, like, that's completely off.
Yeah.
Like, so she's clearly unhinged in that backyard.
She's unhinged. So
it's like, she reminds me of Starlight from The Boys. I was just able to place that. You know what I mean?
Like, in terms of how she looks, or like...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It kind of looks like that.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
And I guess they also play, like, rural, like, white girls. Like farm white girls or something. I don't know. Anyways.
With evil mothers. Because we haven't gotten to that yet. Her
Evil
mother.
mothers, yeah. But yeah, so she covers up the murder, really, of a kid.
Murder.
Doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
Another thing checked off the list. You can't do that one. And then what happens next? What epically happens next?
Well, she thinks it works at first, and then they go to the parents' house. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so she was cooking the cake.
Yeah.
Before she kills the cat, she was cooking the cake.
Yeah.
And she sees the fat picture of her from her childhood. She rips it up. Anyways.
So she's happy now. She thinks it worked. She comes downstairs in the beautiful yellow dress.
She does look wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
Oh, she looked wonderful.
I'm not joking,
of course,
right?
Of course. She comes in her beautiful a yellow dress.
Looks good.
Yeah.
She looks very good.
And they go, because at first he's like, because I think he kind of like, after seeing, like, he knows it's not fucking tomato juice.
Yeah.
And he's like, you should, like, we can do the dinner some other time. You know what I mean? And also, because I'm sure he's also worried about his, like, I think this, like, he already knows in his mind, like, this is the worst possible time to bring her there, because
she's going crazy.
Yeah, and the mom is already, like, has her doubts about her. So it's like, this is a bad time to bring her.
So Justin Long, too, like, we should say, like, her boyfriend character, he's not aware of the hell stuff at all. He's not aware of the curse. He doesn't believe it.
Yeah. Well, it's like, he might be aware of it later, after this.
Later, yes. Yeah.
Even before the ending. But, yeah, so he's like, I don't know if we should do this now. She's like, no, like, now she's like certain she's free of it.
Yeah, because she says, like, she's like, no, everything wasn't okay, but, like, it is now.
Yeah.
Like, I know it is now. There's something like that.
Yeah.
You know?
So she takes her over, he takes her over to his parents' house. They live, of course, in a very, like, ritzy type home. Very nice.
Yeah, rich, like, what is that area? Not Santa Barbara. I don't know. Who cares? California sucks.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's like, it looks like one of those Mexican, California-ish kind of houses, you know?
I guess.
You know what I mean?
I don't know if I would say, like, Mexican. It looked like old-timey, kind of. But anyways, it doesn't matter. The point is they live in a very nice home.
But with the, you know, it was like one of those big, it was like one of the mansions in, like, GTA 5.
Yeah.
In Hollywood.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get
like, you have, like, the white walls and, like, the brownish orange roofing. You know what I mean? Like, clay looking or I don't fucking know. But anyways, yeah, they go to their, you know, Justin Long's rich parents.
Yeah.
Know, and it starts off good.
Yeah, it starts off good. Kind of. It starts out bad. But
starts
then
off bad. It gets good, and then it, gets
And I want to talk about that part because the mom is asking her, like, oh, I forgot exactly what she asked her, but she started talking about her own mother.
Oh, I thought that was pretty good because she kind of like... You get the impression at first that she's giving a bad impression.
Yeah.
And then they go sit down at the dinner table, and she's starting to kind of win them over.
Yeah.
And then the demon shit starts happening.
Yeah.
And then,
but before that,
oh, go ahead,
about
go
when
ahead,
she
yeah.
talks about her own mother.
That's after.
No, it's not after. It's when
it's
she
right
starts winning her
before,
over
okay.
because she's like, "Oh, I'm glad that you're so honest that she likes."
It is
that
right
she likes
before,
it.
yes.
That's part of how she wins her over.
Yeah.
She was talking about how her mother was an alcoholic, and she's still alive, but she wanted to like get away from her. I don't know. I thought this part was like interesting. I don't entirely know what to make of it in like the grand scheme of the movie.
I think all it was... I think they were just trying to make kind of an interesting... I think it was supposed to be contained on its own.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's like really meant to feed into anything else in particular, like in terms of like theme or whatever, but I think it was just meant to be like, oh, is she going to win them over? Blah, blah, blah. Like,
I'm not sure. I don't know.
because she's able to say like, oh, like, you might think I'm a farm girl or whatever, but, I'm actually, like, doing well at my job. I'm up for a promotion. And then she's like, oh, well, like, why don't you see your family or whatever?
Yeah.
She's like, oh, she's an alcoholic. And she's like, I relate to that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it was just supposed to be, like, interesting to see her against what you think is, like, unlikely.
Mm.
Like, he's, like, it's going to be hard to win them over. She does successfully, and then, like, the demon shit comes and ruins it. I think that's all it was. It was just building that up to be knocked down by the demon shit.
Yeah, that could be part. But I don't know. I feel like at least in some way it plays a bit into like her having kind of a past that she wants to like forget about.
Yeah.
That still kind of haunts her, and I guess like maybe mental illness a little bit because like having an eating disorder is considered like a mental illness, and then her mother's an alcoholic, so it's like those kind of like. Not that those aren't directly related to each other, but still, it's like they kind of feed into each other a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They are related.
Yeah. So
I know what you mean. Yeah.
I don't know. For that reason, I thought that part was kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think you could say like, what do they say? Not obsessive. What's the word? Addictive.
Mm-hmm.
Addictive personalities are like hereditary.
Yeah.
And I feel like an addiction, like you can. I don't know if necessarily an eating disorder is addictive. Mm-hmm. Maybe it is, or maybe it isn't. But it's like, it's definitely comparable.
Yeah.
To an addiction. I think so.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And then I think it comes back in this moment, of course, because, okay, they're winning over. And then they bring out the cake that she baked for them. And, of course, once the sweets are involved, more horrible stuff starts happening because, like I mentioned, kind of the bulimia thing. At least in my head, is the way I see it. If related. And then, it, like, what happens, like, the cake, like, it, like, has a mouth or something,
So
right?
what happens is they're all eating the cake,
Yeah.
and then they're kind of enjoying it,
Yeah.
and they're just talking shit, and they're talking, and they're having a good time. And then Christine looks down at her cake, and then like a fucking big, beautiful Sam Raimi eye
that was
opens in the middle of the cake, and then she stabs it with the fork, and then it bursts blood all over the place, and then like kind of...
And they can't see it, so it's like, in this,
No.
it's like kind of in... I won't say it's in her head, but it's like... It's not
Fucking with
physical
her.
blood. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not actually... But it is interesting because it kind of switches to the dad's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And the dad is like nodding at her and like, oh, it's good.
Like,
yeah. And then like she's kind of still dealing with like the eye in her cake. Mm-hmm. And then the eye, like she stabs it, it's bleeding, and then it's like throbbing, and you can still see the fork moving.
Yeah.
From it throbbing in the eye.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know. I don't know if they can perceive that at all, but I thought that was interesting because it is kind of like from his perspective, I think.
Yeah.
In that part. But anyways, and then this is when the fly comes up from earlier.
Mm-hmm.
The fly that crawled in her beautiful lips and it crawled down.
Yeah.
And I think at the beginning of the scene too, you can hear the fly in her tummy.
Yeah. You can. Yeah.
And then after they start eating the cake, and then so once the fly, she starts like violently coughing, and the fly flies out of her throat. And then they kind of like look at the raisins in the cake.
Yeah.
And they're like, ew, like these are flies, and they stop eating the cake and they're disgusted or whatever. And then, she's like, oh, I have to leave, like, whatever.
Yeah.
And the mom is, like, pissed, and she's like, well, that's good. You leave then.
No, something else does happen here, though.
Oh, well, yeah, there's also...
It gets worse.
There's also outside the door, she thinks she can hear like the demon, or she does hear the demon.
Yeah.
Like slamming on the door.
Yeah.
And like she can see the shadow underneath the door and shit like that. And then she grabs like something. She grabs like a cup, a glass cup or something.
Yeah.
And like throws it at the door. And they're like, yeah, you should leave.
And I wanted to mention really quick the dad in that scene, Justin Long's dad. I forgot the name of the actor, but he's in a few other Sam Raimi movies. He's in The Gift, and he's also in A Simple Plan. So I just wanted to mention that really quick.
Good for you.
Yeah, so Sam Raimi reoccur right there.
Reoccurring actor.
Yeah.
Bruce Campbell actually turned down a role in this movie.
Did you really?
Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
It was for some TV show. He wasn't in this.
Oh, was it Burn Notice?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah,
he used
Burn
to be
Notice.
in that. Yeah.
L.
I don't know if Burn Notice is good or not, but
Well, I just think it's an L. He should be in it.
Yeah.
I love Bruce Campbell. I guess
That's
Bruce
true.
Campbell would have taken me out of this movie a little bit.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Because it is a silly movie, but it's not like a self-aware movie, if that makes sense, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not quite like Spider-Man where it's like, I'm just here to be entertained.
Yeah.
Like, if that makes sense.
Mm.
But Evan, do you want to continue?
Who was he supposed to play?
I don't know.
Oh.
I think Sam Raimi was just like, you want to be in my movie?
Oh, okay.
I'll find somewhere for you to be.
He should have played Justin Long's character.
I agree. Hard agree. Who, if you had to pick, who would you cast him as?
Justin Long.
The voice of the demon.
No, that would have been too goofy. Like, I know
That's
it's
what I
already a
would pick.
goofy movie, but
That's what I would pick.
that would have been too.
How about
goofy.
the voice of the demon just when it's possessing the goat?
He should have played like the gypsy woman's like husband or something. That would have been funny.
Maybe. So actually, yeah, like anyone in that, like the party scene,
Yeah.
like the gypsy party scene,
Yeah.
anyone.
That would have been pretty funny.
You know who else is in this?
Who?
Octavia Spencer.
Is she?
She is one of the bank people. She doesn't have.
When do you see her? I don't
She doesn't have a
remember.
speaking line.
That must have been quick. I don't remember seeing her.
She doesn't have a speaking line. She's in the background.
Oh.
But she is in this.
I don't remember that. Oh.
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing her. Of course, she's also in Spider-Man 1.
God bless you,
Yeah, so.
Octavia.
May God be with you. Of course, her classic Spider-Man 1 line.
Good pull.
Yeah. She should have said that to her in this.
Oh
Right?
yeah.
She
I wish
should've
God was
backed
with
her,
old Christine in this movie.
yeah. Me too. Yeah, so after that, it's like, okay, obviously, it's terrible. Then you see her, like, binge eating the fucking ice cream.
Well,
Not binge eating. Why did I say binge eating? But she's
before-
eating the fucking...
well, she is kind of binge eating.
I didn't know if that's what I should call her or not, but she's eating the big-ass...
I think you could call it that because, one, they established that she's lactose intolerant. She should not be eating ice cream.
Yeah.
Anyway. And she's also eating it straight out of the...
I also
carton.
wonder, though, I wonder if she was actually lactose intolerant or not. I feel like she might not be. Like, that might have been just something she said.
Because she has an eating disorder, so
Yeah,
she
she
can
doesn't
excuse
want-
herself from eating stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
That's true.
That's just something I thought about in that moment, so I don't know for sure. But
That could be true.
obviously, they're not going to be like, oh, no, you're like... You know what I mean? That would be stupid.
Yeah. But I think, for me, that kind of just established, like, she's kind of half accepting death at that point. So she's kind
That's
of like,
true,
fuck it.
Yeah.
I think that's maybe what it is. But before that, before she eats the ice cream, though, she's, like, selling her stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. Is she? Yeah.
That's why
so
she
she can get the money.
Yeah.
Because she goes... Okay, yeah, you're right. She goes and sees the psychic again. And it's like 10,000... No, it's not... Is it 10,000? No, it's not.
It's 10,000.
Shit.
It's
So
10,000.
I was like, there's no way her boyfriend gave her 10... Yeah, you really did.
Justin Long's rich. What's
yeah.
he again? Justin
He's a
Long?
professor.
Professor.
Which doesn't pay well, but he does come from a wealthy family, so...
That's true.
Yeah.
But he, she, Christine.
Mm-hmm.
So Christine takes, she goes and sees the psychic.
Yeah,
and the
that's when
psychic,
she gets pissed again. She's like, I killed the fucking cat.
Exactly, yeah. And then, he's like, well, there's another thing we can try.
Yeah.
Where there's a great medium that has experience with this type of shit, but she's putting a lot at risk by doing this.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to pay her $10,000. Well, you're gonna have to pay
Yeah.
$10,000.
Which is like, they're gonna summon the fucking demon into the goat and then kill the goat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then she says, I bet. And then she goes home. She sells everything she can anything that has any significant value.
Yeah.
And she winds up getting, goes to pawn shop, sells it all. She only winds up getting like $4,000
Yeah, something like that.
out of the 10,000. So she has the cash on the table. She's, you know, like you said, like eating the ice cream. Crying. She's very upset.
I'd be crying too. I'd be like, shit, I'm about to go to hell in a day from now.
Go to hell, yeah.
In 24 hours from now.
And,
yeah, so I'm going to say, so, yeah, he comes and tells her, like, yeah, I gave the money or whatever. I guess he says he gave it to the Indian guy. I forgot his name. But that means he knows. Because he's like, yeah, he's like, oh, I know you really believe in this or whatever. He says that to her. So that means he actually does know, like, at least, well, she is cursed, but in her mind, because he doesn't believe it's real, that she thinks she's fucking cursed and that she's going to hell from a... You know, he's a good boyfriend. He gives her all that fucking money.
He's a good man.
Yeah.
And plus that shit with her parents.
He feeds into her delusions. That can't be healthy, right?
Well, I don't know if...
Even though she's not delusional.
I don't know if he's been able to perceive anything that's happened yet. They kind of leave that out of the, like, question. Like, you don't really know if he's, like... Did he notice anything at the dinner table? Or, like, is it just, like, her behavior? Or, like, I don't know. But anyways, he comes through. Yeah. He brings her the information that he's paid off the psychic.
And then he drops her off over there because he said go along. The Indian guy told her to go along.
Yeah.
So he just drops her off. And they go into the home you see from the beginning. So it might not be in Mexico. It could just be in California. Because, of course, California has a large Mexican population.
Or maybe they're in Southern California and they
That's what I mean, yeah.
Or, I don't know.
Like, I'm like, did they really cross the border for that? I guess it's possible, but...
Maybe.
They don't really... They don't have to answer the question.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. But, yeah.
But the intro is entirely in Spanish.
Yeah.
So it kind of made me think... Maybe.
But again, she is Spanish. She's Spanish, and then it was a Mexican family, so it's like...
Yeah.
Yeah, but...
Could be whatever.
Who knows?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't
but
matter.
Also, like... Stealing a necklace from like it's like that doesn't sound like something that'd be happening in America, you know what I mean? So it's like, but maybe
it was like the 60s or 70s or whatever, so maybe I don't fucking know. I don't know.
Anyways, yeah, she goes into the mansion, and then he's there. I can't remember his name, and then the medium woman and like her assistant or whatever, and she's like, yeah, I've been waiting. The medium tells her like I've been waiting years to like, kind of dispel this fucking demon or whatever, because what happened to the child.
Yeah, she wants to redeem herself in a way.
Yeah.
Because she's like, I failed that child.
Yeah. So she wants to save her.
Yeah.
And they start, like, doing the prayer or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Yeah. To call the demon. And they have a goat.
They do have a goat.
Yeah, they do have a goat. And then at first it possesses the medium woman.
Yes.
And then,
well, first here's another cameo.
Mm-hmm.
You want to know?
Who is it?
You know a secret?
Yeah.
So, before they're able to get the actual demon they're looking for, they wind up summoning all the, like, tangential spirits that haunt the area.
Yeah.
Or, like, that house.
Oh, yeah, I do like this part, because it just looked creepy. Like, you see the demon with, like, the old-timey lady in the dress and the umbrella and shit. I did like that part, yeah.
So all these ghosts are, like, lumbering towards them, and basically, like, the medium is like, he's like, be gone, foolish spirits.
Yeah.
And she, like, banishes them all away.
I like when they all go away. It looked creepy.
Yeah, it was cool. Like, she like, wipes them. I don't know. It's very kinetic.
Yeah.
You know, it's well done. But one of those beautiful fucking specters is Sam Raimi himself.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
That's pretty cool.
I want to go back and look.
I wonder which one he is.
Yeah, me too.
What a nutty guy.
What a nutty guy. Starring, like, making a cameo on your own film. What a nutty idea.
Who crap would do that?
Yeah, what a nutty idea.
Fuck? You think you're fucking Michael Bay or something? Nah, but yeah, so after that, there's just like a little twinge of trouble, you know? I like that with magic, is like, there are very undefined consequences for magic. So when you make up your own, it can be tough.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, it's well handled here, you know? Because they're like, oh, let the spirit, like, what is it? Like, I let the spirits in my heart or something like that. Because they're trying to draw out...
he tells her to say it like she means it.
Yeah, they're trying to draw out the demon, but since they're saying that or, like, doing that, they get, like, other spirits that they have to dispel first. And then, and then the proper demon comes.
Yeah.
And he does possess the medium woman.
Yeah. And they're having trouble putting her hand on the goat. So, like, the demon will go from her into the goat.
Yeah, so that's the objective, is to take the demon, put it in the medium, and then put it in the goat, and then kill the goat.
Yeah.
And then they're talking, and, he coughs up the cat.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't want your fucking cat! And he vomits out the cat. And I was like, oh, is the cat gonna be alive? No, the cat, rigged this cat, dead cat. And, but like I said, maybe it's in heaven.
Yeah, well, yeah, maybe that's part of it. It's like, usually it's like, when they sacrifice animals, it's like goats or like chickens, shit like that. Not a cat, you know what I mean? So it's like, maybe she didn't sacrifice the proper animal, you know what I mean?
Maybe, but maybe it's like that particular demon doesn't, like, want sacrifices, or like, it could be in many things, because it's magic, you know?
Yeah.
So, I thought that was interesting.
It was interesting.
Or maybe it's at the discretion of the demon, you know?
Yeah, but I feel like goat sacrifice is like the most common like fucking thing you think about. You know what I mean?
Cows
Especially with like satanic shit.
Or chickens.
Yeah.
Because the guy mentioned chickens earlier. Like, bitch, you thought killing your fucking house cat? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Do you like when it possesses the goat? That fucking demon.
I do love that. I love that. I like the way it looks.
I when he's like, you bitch, or whatever. He says something like that.
Is that when he says that?
Yeah.
About the cat, though? I think he calls her a bitch about the cat. I think he's like, I didn't want your cat, you bitch. I think that's what
and he bites her.
Yeah, he bites her? Does he?
Or did he bite the dude? Because the other dude started
he bites.
The mustache.
I knew something was going to happen to that guy, because he had no lines.
Yeah.
So, and then the goat gets up and bites, like, not the medium, not Christine, like the random fourth guy that's there.
Like her assistant.
Yeah, like the medium's assistant, yeah.
He's Wong.
And then he gets possessed.
Wong.
Yeah. The Wong of the Drag Me to Hell universe. Yeah. Yeah, and then he gets possessed by the demon. And then
they kind of expel it from him.
The lady expels it. And then the lady fucking dies.
Yeah, she dies.
And I like this part after this, because this movie's kind of like relentless in a way.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like Uncut Gems where it's like, you know, like high stress the whole time, but it is kind of relentless.
Yeah.
Because she's like, there's constantly like her being like, oh, like I got rid of it, and then
yeah, and then no, that's when she sees the old lady, right? Is that when she sees? No, she sees her before that, when she puts her fist in her mouth. That was when you said she was on the shit.
We did skip over that, but like the lady, when she's selling her stuff, she gets attacked in her like garage or something, and then like the lady, that was pretty funny.
Yeah, it's like the Lamia took the form of the old lady again. Yeah,
and then it crams like fucking elbow deep in her throat.
Yeah, and that's when you see the eyeballs pop out also.
Yeah, because it's like a Looney Tunes bit, and she for whatever fucking reason, she has an anvil suspended in her garage with a rope, and then she has the skate, like she's about to sell her ice skates, like pack those up to get sold, and then she cuts the rope with the ice skate, and then the anvil drops on the demon's head. And then, it, like, explodes like a Looney Tunes character.
And her eyeballs, like, pop in her, like, fucking mouth.
Yeah, the eyeballs shoot into her mouth and, like, in her face. So, yeah, we did miss that. That does happen. That was fucking, like, one of the most ridiculous things in the movie. That was so ridiculous.
That's what I thought. That would look the worst. The fucking eyeballs popping out.
It looked bad, but I think for how fucking cartoony it is, it didn't bother me.
No, it didn't bother me. It was fine.
The
I thought it was funny.
Being bad. But I was like, that's crazy. Damn, that's crazy. But so now, back to where we were.
Yeah.
She thinks that the demon... This is a really good part, I think, where she's like, oh, like, how ironic. Like, she like, tries to wrap up the story.
Yeah.
You know? And she's like, how ironic, you know? She's been looking to kill this demon for years, and it would be on the night that she died.
Yeah.
And then she's like, no, the demon's still alive. Like, Christine...
He tells her that, right?
Yeah, like the from earlier. I don't know his name either.
Yeah, it didn't work.
The other medium.
Yeah.
The male medium from the beginning of the movie. He's like, yeah, that did, like he just got rid of it. From the seance. Like, he's still out there.
Yeah.
And then I think now is the point where.
Well, I can't remember exactly why it didn't work how they wanted it to.
Well, because they didn't kill the goat.
That was okay.
Because the goat, because they were gonna.
Because it possessed the other guy.
Yeah, they were gonna kill the goat while the demon was in the goat, but then the goat bites the guy.
Yeah.
It gets into the guy, and then they're like, okay, we just have to get rid of it.
Yeah.
and then they kind of expel it out of the home.
And for that reason, it didn't work.
And then it didn't work. Yes. So.
That's when he tells her about the last option.
This is the point, Evan.
Yeah.
Where he tells her about, guess what?
You can give it to somebody else.
The last option. Yes.
And curse them to go to fucking hell forever.
And this, I like this. So we mentioned this earlier, but there's so many times in movies and stuff where they're like, why didn't you tell me about this before? Like the ruby slippers in Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
Well, and then she's like, well, you had to learn your lesson.
Yeah.
But in this, it's like, well, like, we're sending an innocent person to hell forever. So it has to be on my conscience.
Yeah, because I'm the one who told you.
And then you too. So it's like, last resort, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So she takes the button, she puts it in an envelope, wisely.
Or not wisely.
Wisely, she puts it in an envelope. Okay. Or actually, I think he puts it in the envelope. The medium.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh.
Yeah, because you see him lick it. Yeah, he licks it like really goofy.
No, not goofy. He licks it like a smooth customer. He's like a cool customer.
Yeah, that's how I knew it was him.
Yeah. He does. Props to that guy. That was like a TikTok thing.
I liked him in this movie, for real.
He was good.
Yeah.
No, he was good, no cap. I liked him a lot. Platinum. Very nice. Yeah, he's classic. I like him in this movie. But, yeah, so he, like we said, gives her the information. If you gift this to someone, then the demon will come collect their soul.
Yeah.
And drag them,
to
in effect, to heck.
To hell.
Yeah.
To heck. To H-E double hockey sticks.
To H-E double hockey sticks.
Yeah.
No one wants to go there.
No.
So this is another part that I really, really like because I don't know, it's like screenwriting 101 or whatever. 101 or whatever. Like, you're giving your character a difficult choice.
Yeah.
Which is badass. That's great. What was the first thing in the movie that she did? She had to make a difficult choice. What was it?
Oh, whether or not to fucking be mean to the old lady.
Oh,
yeah,
that one. Also, like, killing her cat, I guess.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So, I don't know. That's just... When people say that you have like a one-dimensional or shallow character, a lot of times I feel like it's because they're not making decisions. They have no agency.
Yeah.
But this character, like, that's what endears me to her in the beginning of the movie. And, like, for the rest of the movie, I guess.
But it's more real in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. It's just... It really makes you be more invested in the character.
I agree.
And I think it's well done here. In this movie.
I agree.
Because when he, like, puts that button in the envelope and he licks it so suave and he gives it back, it's just... And then he's like, well, you have a choice.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, shit. Like, that's a good moment.
Yeah.
And then, Justin Long, so he's waiting for her, and they begin to drive home. And she's like, oh, I have to do something. And they're about to get ready to go on their trip.
Yeah.
Or are they not?
They are.
As mentioned, Justin Long says they're going to go on a trip at the end of the movie. So, he says, meet me at 7:30 in the morning. What are you worried about? She's like, oh, I just have to do something first.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I'll do it for you. And then she's like, no.
But we're skipping over an important part.
What?
Because that's before he drops her off at her home.
What are we skipping?
Well, they're driving. And, of course, that old man is, like, randomly crossing the road. I think she sees it as the old lady. But then it's just some old dude.
Oh, yeah.
And he brakes hard as fuck, and everything goes flying. And she can't find the button. And then she finds it. She picks up the envelope.
Well, this is... the conversation was before that.
Are you sure?
Well, I guess it doesn't matter.
No, that happens first, I think, before she drops her... Yeah, because she's like, oh, where is it? Like, I need it. And then she finds it. She saw it's right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he drops her off at her home. And then that's when she's like, yeah, I gotta do something. Before.
So, that, I thought what was gonna happen there was, like, maybe the rest of the movie's gonna be her trying to save him because, like, she accidentally left the envelope, but then she's like, oh, I found it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's, like, gotta be there for a reason, though. It's, like... I guess you could just justify, like, oh, create, like, a tense little second. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's, like... Of course, well, no spoilers for now, but of course it ends up being very important.
It does wind up being important. But yeah, I did think, I was like, oh, like, maybe that was just like a misdirect. I don't fucking know. But I thought that was setting it up to be like, oh, he's going to drive away with it, and then she's going to be like, oh no! Like, and then, like, the rest of the movie is her trying to save him.
Yeah. But no, she
that's
finds
not
the
what happens.
envelope.
Yeah, she happily finds it.
Yeah.
And nothing went wrong, and it was just a moment of deep tension, and it was over. So then, I love this part.
Mm-hmm.
This part is great. Just like the feeling of this next part.
Is it when she's in the diner?
Yes.
Yeah, and she's... Oh, also I wanted to mention this, again to the bulimia thing. So you see this at the beginning, just her drinking coffee. I think she actually said she didn't want to eat something, she just wanted to drink coffee. And then again, at the end, coffee is a big thing in eating disorders. Because,
is it?
Yeah. Because
like
it
fill
makes,
you up?
Well, it makes you shit.
Oh,
and,
okay.
And you see she have one coffee. There's a part of that at the beginning and then again at the end.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because she says, this whole diner part.
Yeah, it's funny. She says, I forgot.
Oh, so good.
She says something or you're gonna get
no,
it.
Yeah, yeah, because she, so we were talking about the coffee thing.
Mm-hmm.
She's talking to the waitress, and she's like, "Oh, can I have another coffee?" To the waitress, and the waitress is like, "You're just gonna drink coffee?"
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Coffee drinkers don't tip," and she's like, "I'll give you a fucking tip."
Yeah.
She's like, "If you don't be careful, I'm gonna give you a fucking tip." And she like shows the envelope.
Yeah.
That's funny.
This part's fucked though. She's looking around to think of somebody to give.
Oh, this is like, I feel like this is probably not true, but this whole scene is like why the movie was made for me. I love this whole scene.
Well, what do you mean by that?
Just like the feeling of this scene, where it's like you're basically like choosing. It's worse than killing someone, really.
Yeah,
they're going to hell forever.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. She's just like so tortured, like just sitting in this diner.
She thinks about giving it to the old man, and but like the logic,
that's so good.
The logic here is like not entirely like, because I feel like she was thinking like, oh, he's about to die soon anyways, but it's like, well, you don't know if he's gonna go to hell. You know what I mean? He might be a nice old, like he probably maybe even going to heaven.
I literally like when that showed up.
Yeah.
When that showed up on the screen, the old man,
yeah,
and she's like looking at him with the oxygen mask on, like the old man has an oxygen mask, and I was like, I literally said out loud, I'm not kidding, I was like, he's gonna go to hell. You're gonna send him to hell. Like that's what makes this like so much worse than like if someone puts like a bomb on your back and they're like, if you don't go kill an innocent person, I'll kill you, like or something like that. But this is like so much worse, you know.
And then she sees like his like other old wife or whatever pop up. With, like,
and he's like very weakly like, oh, what a nice surprise.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that picked up on the mic, but yeah, he's like, oh, what a nice surprise, and she like brings him in like a pancakes or something. Mm-hmm. And then she starts like, you know, she's still looking around or whatever. She's like,
and then she starts eating the ice cream again.
Yeah, she starts like stress eating.
Yeah.
And she's eating like she eats like a big full like sundae.
Yeah.
And then she asks for another one, and the waitress is like, really?
Yeah.
God damn. And then
that gonna fuck your stomach up for sure. Like 3 cups of coffee, then 2 sundaes.
I'm not doing anal sex with her later. You know what I'm saying?
That's gonna fuck you up.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then she gives someone a ring. She gives old Stu a ring.
Yeah. She's like, because she wants to give it him. And the way she brings him over, it's like, yeah, I know you took the fucking report and fucked up the deal. We didn't mention that earlier, so he tells her like, yeah, I can't give you the assistant manager position, her boss, because the big deal you were working on, like it fell through because another bank got like the information or whatever. I don't know. I'm not a banker, so I don't know.
I think it was basically like they got all the inside information, so they were able to make a better offer.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was.
Some shit like that. Yeah. And then of course it's because Stu wanted to fuck her over.
Oh yeah, so I think also what Stu was doing was he was about to get a check, like he was about to get commission for that too, or something like that.
Maybe.
I think that's what at the end of the movie. That's what the boss says. I think.
Okay.
Like he was trying to make money on that deal.
Okay.
Through a different bank.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, anyways, either way, he was fucking her over and then trying to help himself out. And then the way he brings her over, it's like, yeah, I mean, that she brings him over is by telling her, like, yeah, I'm gonna rat you out unless.
Yeah, he was like, she was like, I'm gonna tell on you if you don't meet me at this diner. Like, be at this diner in 10 minutes.
Yeah. And then he shows up and he starts begging for forgiveness or whatever. And then she feels bad and she doesn't want to give him the button because of that. So, you know, it's like... she's not a terrible person, you know what I mean?
No,
yeah,
she's not.
she can't, like, even her worst enemy, quote unquote, she can't bring herself to fucking send him to hell. Yeah, in place of saving herself. So it's like, you know, in that moment, she does something good. She does something good.
She does.
Yeah,
she does. Truly.
yeah.
Truly.
And then I guess she's like, oh, what I have to do is give the button back to the old fucking gypsy lady.
Yeah, she basically kind of she has an idea.
Yeah.
That maybe I could curse the old lady.
Yeah.
And give it back to her after she's dead.
Mm-hmm.
And then the guy, the medium guy is like, oh, that could work.
Yeah.
Just do that.
And she does it. She goes and visits her fucking grave.
That scene is great.
Yeah.
That looks fantastic. There's a couple little frames of like just her in the pouring rain, like with the lightning in the background, like standing in the hole, the grave hole. Look fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe we can make that the thumbnail.
That'd be cool.
If we can find that.
Yeah.
But that looks fucking badass.
And she tries to give her back the fucking.
And I love how she's like, she doesn't look pretty here. I'm not saying like.
Oh, there's another bulimia thing I just thought about because this happens
really?
a couple times. The hair falling out. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, because she gets her hair ripped out here earlier by the old lady when they're fighting in the.
Oh yeah.
In the garage.
Yeah.
And then here she rips out part of her hair again. Of course, that's another part, your hair falling out.
Yeah.
So.
There's a lot to that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I remembered again when I thought about that.
Yeah.
Because she's like, that's the last time you're going to fucking rip my hair out. That's what made me think, like, the old lady herself, like, kind of represents the disorder.
Yeah. Like the way she talks to her like that, and she kind of represents, like, the teeth.
And her kind of causing all the fucking craziness.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like you said, it's not like 100%, like, out the whole movie's allegorical for that, but it's definitely a big part of it.
Yeah, it's not like, what's that fucking, is it Darren Aronofsky? Is it Mother?
I never saw Mother, but
you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
It's not like Mother.
Yeah.
Where it's like there's no other interpretation other than the allegory.
Yeah.
It's like, it's just, I feel like there's like a, to make something like a magic and horror work, you need some type of angle.
Yeah.
And I feel like saying like, okay, we're going to take inspiration from this illness.
Yeah.
I feel like that works, but I don't think the whole movie is like completely.
Yeah. Because like they could have been with the child, like made him like a starving kid or some shit like that, but he's just a normal kid. Like at the beginning.
I guess you could make the argument that maybe he's poor and they were trying to like make some money.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
But it's like I said, that's like that's kind of what's the word? Reaching a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think the whole movie kind of fits that in certain ways, but for the most part, it's just like a kind of not thematic, aesthetic.
Yeah.
Inspiration. I don't know if that's the right word, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. But I just before I forgot, I wanted to mention that.
Yeah,
that happens here when because they start kind of fighting again. Her dead body won't let her go.
Yeah, and I really like that part, because the dead body isn't like a zombie.
No, it's completely dead. It's just like,
but it does kind of fuck with her.
Yeah,
in like a slapstick, like
Weekend at Bernie's. Type
a Weekend at Bernie's type of way, where it's like the grave starts flooding and it's like the body gets lifted up and like on top of her and shit like that. So but I wanted to say I like how she's like and this is, I'm not saying the actress isn't pretty, right, but I like how unattractive they let her look, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
like with the rain pouring down on her makeup is pouring down, she's fucking soaked, which I'm sure sucked.
Yeah,
like being the actress filming it and shit like that, but she was actually soaked, her hair looked terrible, and like the makeup's running down her face and shit. I feel like that's not super common.
Yeah.
So that, I don't know, it just looked fucking badass.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Well, this isn't the MCU, Dylan.
Yeah, this is a real fucking director making a real fucking movie. But even like other horror movies.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, like Barbarian even.
Yeah.
Like someone that's supposed to be like trapped underground, they still look pretty hot.
Yeah.
I
feel you. You.
But anywho.
And then when she's getting away from her, when she finally able to get away, she shoves the fucking down her throat. again, another mouth thing, the button. Oh, it's the button, right? I'm pretty sure it's the button.
Oh,
right?
it is.
She shoves it down her throat.
Oh, it is.
So yeah, more mouth shit.
Well, yeah, she holds it up to the sky very dramatically.
Yeah.
She says, what's her name?
Yeah, Christine, whatever.
Brown.
Okay.
She's Christine Brown, gift this to you.
Yeah.
Whatever. And yeah, she crams it in her mouth. And the grave starts to flood or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the cross, falls down and
knocks
bangs her on the head.
Yeah.
And then it takes a second. She comes back up, and she crawls out. And she kind of uses the cross to crawl out. Mm-hmm. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, you think at first that I mean, you don't really think this, but it's kind of implying oh, it knocked her out and she's gonna drown in the grave. That's kind of what they want you to worry about.
Yeah.
And then it's oh, but then the cross kind of saves her because she uses it to pull herself
out.
I don't know. I like that. And then everything is rainbow and butterflies.
Oh yeah, she goes home.
So she relinquished the curse. She leaves the graveyard. So did we mention even that she dug up the grave?
Yeah.
Right?
Or,
okay.
Well, either way, to get to her fucking dead body, she had to dig up the grave. Yeah.
Yeah. Badass scene.
Badass scene.
Yeah, badass scene.
And then she goes home, and then gets ready to go to meet Justin Long at the train station.
Oh, yeah.
So they go on their trip. As you mentioned, he's like, at the end of the movie, we'll go on a trip.
At the end of the movie, we go on a trip.
Yeah.
Oh, but first.
She goes to buy a new coat.
No, but first.
Before
that, the boss calls her while she's getting ready.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then she's basically like, oh, everything's perfect now, fucking, what's his name?
Stu.
I caught Stu.
Yeah.
I caught Stu trifling.
He admitted it, because he was like...
Well, he didn't admit it.
I thought he did it.
He went to the boss, and he tried to blame everything
on yeah,
her.
that was it.
And then he kind of caught him up in the lies.
Yeah, that was
the boss, and he was like, oh, well, Stu, you're fired.
Yeah.
And then she's like, well, this promotion, I'm sorry about doubting you. The promotion will be waiting for you on Monday.
Yeah. So he really was a piece of shit, Stu.
Stu was a dick. Yeah.
He went and tried to blame it on her.
After going and begging her. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so like you said, it's everything's going to go right for her now, right?
And then everything's perfect now.
Everything's perfect.
And so we just have a happy ending to the movie. And she's on her way through the train station. She sees a nice coat. She says, oh, I want to get rid of this terrible coat that caused me so much strife and terror. And so she throws that coat away. She buys a new blue coat.
Looks
very
nice.
Crisp and clean on her. Looks wonderful. Brings out her eyes.
It does, yeah.
It matches her complexion. She's a bit of an autumn.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So she looks beautiful. She goes and meets Justin Long. She says, Justin Long, finally our end of the movie trip.
Yeah.
And, is there anything else that happens?
She lets him know. She's like, yeah, I'm sorry. I've been whatever, but I'm good now. Kind of like what you said earlier. And she's like...
Yeah, every time she...
Oh, and he came ready to propose to her.
Oh, right.
Yeah, we see him holding the ring.
Because right when she's buying the coat store isn't open near the train station.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, please, I'm about to go on this trip. I need this coat. And then it kind of goes back and forth to Justin Long, and Justin Long is kind of looking at the ring.
Yeah.
And he puts it away, and he's getting ready to meet her.
Yeah.
And then... it cuts back to her. She's wearing.
See, he must really love her after all that bullshit. It's like he's like it was then. He's like, no, I'm ready to propose now.
And he's like, damn, I'm ready to lock this down. I'm ready to lock this down. That's nuts.
Yeah,
that is nuts. They only been together for a year.
Yeah.
Nuts.
He must really love her.
Nuts. But you can tell they have a true and honest love.
Yeah,
they have a true and honest love, as Christine Weston Chandler would say.
And then the other object, I feel like that's kind of a misdirect a little bit. The ring.
What about
the wedding ring? Just because it doesn't really play any role here in the ending at all.
I think it's just an additional twist of the knife.
You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a misdirect in that you think you're going to get this great happy ending, and it's that, like you said, it makes it even worse for what happened.
Yeah. And plus, it kind of it further justifies her buying the jacket. Maybe you know what I mean? Because it kind of parallels that, and she's like, oh, she wants to get rid of that old jacket, get the new one. There's change, the parallel with the ring.
Yeah,
they both have new things. I don't know. It just kind of I feel like it's kind of have you ever heard of burying it in a list, where making the reveal of something or the misdirect of something buried in a list kind of makes it feel more natural.
Yeah.
So I feel like having those two things like juxtaposed kind of makes it feel a little more natural.
Yeah.
Because if it was just the ring and then she's on her way, you have more time to think about like what's going on and be like, oh, maybe this is something else.
Yeah.
Anyways.
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, I'm sorry, but I love you, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'm ready for us to go on with our life. And he's like, he
questions the jacket, right?
Yeah, because she's like, oh, the new jacket.
Is there anything else?
No, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, he
like,
questions the jacket.
He's like, oh, I found this button for your old jacket. Of course, he has the envelope with the button.
Well, yeah, no, because he's like, but the thing is, like, I like a lot how it's not like that, because you're like, oh, like, I found this button, like, but it's very subtle. Like, it's very realistic.
But it's because she was mentioning her coat or whatever.
Well, he says, what happened to your old jacket?
Yeah.
I liked your old jacket. I thought maybe you could fix it. I actually found the button for it.
And then he says, oh, I think you took my coin. The coin she gave him at the beginning.
Yeah, and he's like, actually, I think we mixed up envelopes.
Yeah.
I think you have my coin.
Yeah. And of course, she freaking the fuck out now.
Yeah.
And then she falls. She's like, "Oh no!" And she falls into the train. I don't know what you call that. Whatever you call that. Yeah. More train. Fireman
She falls off the train platform.
Yeah.
And onto the train tracks.
Yeah. And he's like, "Oh God, oh no!"
Nothing bad can happen.
Yeah. No, of course not. And the train starts coming. And then what happens next? The giant portal from the beginning of the film opens up.
And does she or does she not get dragged to hell?
She does get
She gets dragged to hell, yeah.
The arm dragger. And it looks very disturbing. You see her face like fucking melting.
Oh, man.
And her begging for help. And it looks good as like the train is going as it's happening. I really like that image. You know what I mean?
And it's it feels like some karmic thing where it's like there's so many people around that like the supernatural world is trying to like hide itself.
Yeah.
Like it kind of, I don't know, like it kind of tripped her into that area and then dragged her under.
And it looks very good visually. I like it. Yeah,
that looks great.
Yeah.
Very fucked up.
It is very fucked up. You see her face melting.
Super awesome, though.
Super awesome. And that's pretty much how the film ends.
Well, yeah, that's how it ends, for sure.
Poor Justin Long, he's just watching. And like you said, nobody else really sees it.
No, it's kind of like, I think the intention is really...
Like you said, to like...
They want Justin Long to kind of be alone in it, too. Like, he's like the only one that really knows what happened to her. Everyone else kind of presumes maybe she got hit by the train.
Yeah.
And got, like, incinerated by the train or something. I don't know. And he's kind of alone in this, like... kind of, what's the word? It's like that... I think I said on the podcast once, my favorite emotion, Evan, is awe.
He's awe.
He's kind of in awe.
Yeah,
it's not a positive thing.
Yeah.
But he's kind of like, I'm the only one that will ever have seen that.
Yeah.
Like, that is fucking insane. So I think that's really awesome.
What would you have done if you were him in that moment?
I'd be like, bye. Girl, bye.
I would have been scared. I'm like, are they going to accuse me of murder? Like,
the thing is,
me and my girlfriend, she disappeared immediately. They're gonna accuse me.
I'm not joking. I thought the same thing, but you know what? Also, I thought, no body, no crime.
Well, yeah.
They will never recover her body.
Yeah.
So, and also, if there is a security camera, like,
I wonder how that would show up.
I wonder, does hell show up on the camera?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Maybe it just looked like she got hit by a train. Like she fell in and got hit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because like we said, like the dinner scene, like they couldn't see stuff, and sometimes people can't see what's going on with her.
Yeah.
So.
But I think he very clearly.
He definitely saw the hell portal.
Yeah.
For sure. But I'm wondering the camera, like you said. I wonder would it show up on the camera?
Yeah.
Super fucked up.
Good ending? You like it?
I want to say great ending.
It's a good ending, yeah, I like it.
But it was, even though it did kind of shock me still, it was like a little bit predictable. Just in that long.
Oh.
Not JK. No, but just because the ending felt so like not an ending, and also the movie up to that point, every time she resolves it, it's not resolved.
Yeah.
Which I don't think is... this isn't a negative or anything, but it was a little predictable, but it still did kind of shock me, so it's not, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. But,
I actually had already knew what the ending was before I
never
knew.
It.
Yeah,
I never knew.
So it's like when I went in watching, I already knew she was gonna go to hell at the end. Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't know.
Yeah.
To be honest.
No, I wish I didn't, but I'm just saying. Yeah, I did already know the ending before I saw it.
Even though, like I said, it was a little predictable. Because like I don't know, the ending. It felt like there was something needed to happen.
Yeah.
Nothing really happened at the end. She just kind of gives it back, and then it's like, oh, happy ending. I was like, this doesn't feel...
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Like an ending.
Yeah.
It feels like something has to happen, and I feel like it's probably her.
Her going to hell.
Her going to hell, yeah. Her being dragged to hell.
Let me ask you this, Dylan.
Please.
Because I've seen other people talk about this.
Oh, sure.
And it's not really something I thought about when watching the movie, but I guess I'll just ask the question because I saw it posed. Did she deserve to go to hell?
So this, I wanted to talk about this, yes. Yeah. I want to say no.
She does some bad stuff, but it was because she knew she was going to hell. But I guess there was the beginning thing, though. Her
definitely, if anyone deserves to go to hell, is the gypsy.
Oh, yeah.
You do not deserve to not go to hell. You can't just go around sending people to hell.
It's Stu. Stu deserves to go to hell.
Does Stu deserve to go to hell? Yeah, kinda. Yeah. He deserves to go to hell.
So, I would say no. She does some terrible things like killing her fucking poor kitten.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Well, it's like at the end, she doesn't actually, like, she thinks about sending Stu to hell, but she doesn't do it.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, I guess it was fucked up what she does with the, in a selfish way, like, not doing it, but... Okay, I don't know. I can't really justify what she does to the gypsy lady if she had the option to save her, but
I feel like
in my head, I don't think it's like, oh, she deserved to go to hell for this. You know what I mean?
No, she doesn't.
Yeah.
That's one thing that made me think, like, maybe this is the real ending until after it was over completely. But, like, who in the world deserves to go to hell? Yeah. The woman that tried to send me to hell. That makes sense. Yeah. Like, to me. So it's like, oh, that's a clever solution. Like, if you can, I guess, make that work. Because who can you give that to? Yeah. Not a lot of people.
That's true. Yeah. I still have to think about it more, do a bit of thinking about it, but I want to think about how the ending can be tied in with the whole thing about her past and maybe the eating disorders or her mother. I had to think about it more, but because I saw somebody else had wrote an essay about it, and they wrote, like, Drag Me Hell is about this, and the ending is like the most, like, the biggest
piece of evidence.
Yeah, but I didn't want to read it because I personally don't like watching like video essays and shit before going into the podcast.
You don't want to just like regurgitate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, I think
because I feel like I would be guilty of that. That's why I don't really like to do it. So I probably will go back and read that essay. But off the top of my head, I'm not entirely sure, And that's why I think like, the analogy isn't like it's not like this is what the movie is about.
That's why
I kind of like what you said, where it's like kind of a good way to represent it, like the curse and everything like that.
Yeah, you take something tangible from real life, and try and translate it into a supernatural thing. That's probably one of the better ways to go about it. Yeah. But because when you mentioned the eating disorder thing to me, I was like, well, how does that affect her death? Like, what does that mean? Does that mean that it's a cycle and you can't escape it?
That's what I was wondering. Is like, or it's like hell. That's her pretty past. Dark. I don't know.
Yeah. Because
I'd be interested in reading what that person says.
Let's say the old woman is the eating disorder, and the curse is the eating disorder. Okay, so you get an eating disorder, and you try all these ways to get rid of it. Maybe it's like perpetuating it is toxic.
I don't know.
Because this is kind of like a modern thing. I don't know that Sam Raimi would like call this. He's a genius though, so I don't maybe. Yeah. But there is kind of like a culture online of people with eating disorders. Yeah. That like glorify it and like push it onto other people. Mm-hmm. So maybe it's like.
I feel like that's not really new though, because there was a whole like like the supermodel world and shit like that. That's been around forever. And that's, of
But
course,
that's
like,
like
you know, so
a-
many of them have eating disorders and
But
shit.
that's like a I guess that makes sense to where he could be drawing that from.
Yeah.
But now it's not like, oh, like the culture perpetuates that and it
Mm.
makes little girls want to be skinny because they see skinny women. It's like now it's like girls on TikTok that are like you should buy you guys should eat baby food because it's like it'll keep you alive but it won't be enough to make you fatter.
Yeah.
Like, and that's fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
So maybe it's speaking to something like that with her death? Or she tries to pass it on to someone else and it kills her and sends her to hell? I don't know. I guess that's all I got.
I didn't think about it like that. That's interesting.
I guess that's all I got.
I don't know. I'd be interested in going and just reading what people say about it. That, like I said, I tried to deliberately not read a full analysis on it or anything like that because I just wanted to go.
No, I
and do
like
a
like looking at like fact videos or like if it's like a Jeremy Johns review, then that's like that. I don't count that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but you're saying like an essay or something. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, yeah.
Drag Me to Hell.
Drag Me to Hell.
Drag Me to Hell. 3 out of 3 stars.
3 out of 3 stars. I would give it an 8 out of 10.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I really like this movie a lot.
Good. I think it's a great movie. I like the ending. Whatever the movie means, I think the ending justifies the entire movie.
Yeah, yeah.
It's fucking awesome.
It is a great ending, yeah.
Because for me, the movie really does endear you to the character.
I agree. I agree.
And I really like the main character, Christine. And that kind of is the only way to make the ending effective.
Yeah.
When you drag someone you like to hell. And her fucking beautiful face gets eviscerated.
I like Justin Long in it, but at the same time, it's like he's kind of a nothing character.
Kinda.
Because he's just like, oh, the super nice boyfriend. Everything he does is just, oh, he's nice for her. You know what I mean?
I feel like sometimes, though...
I like the dynamic and like how that feeds into the plot, the movie, but like him himself, it's like he's kind of boring.
He doesn't add much.
Yeah, yeah.
But he definitely... I think people say that about female characters a lot, where it's like, oh, they don't add anything.
Yeah.
I don't think characters need to add anything sometimes. Not that what you're saying is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Like, maybe if it was a different actor, they could have brought something else to the table.
Yeah.
Or maybe they could have beefed the character up.
I just mean he's not very interesting or anything like that.
No,
yeah.
no, he's not. But I just mean, like, people say that about supporting characters a lot. And I think having that perfect relationship on the side just adds to fucking the insanity of her going to hell. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, well, she had it perfect. They were about to be fine. They didn't even have any personal conflict to get over. Once she got over the hell thing, there was no like, oh, we have to resolve our fight. We have to we had like a bad fight in the beginning of the second act or something.
Yeah.
Or in the midpoint of the movie where we have to, after the movie's over, we have to resolve that.
Yeah.
It's like, no, we had a perfect relationship. I was there for you the whole time. We're there for each other. And then it's even more devastating, when she goes to hell.
That is true. Yeah, for that reason, it does make the ending more impactful.
Yeah.
Because like you said, with the ring, too, it twists the knife more, like you said.
Yeah.
So for that reason, that's true. Yeah.
So, I think sometimes it's like, maybe he was one-dimensional, but I think it was deliberate, and I think it was, effective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Do you want to talk about the alternate ending?
I didn't even know there was an alternate
This
ending.
is nuts.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Do you want to know about it?
Yeah.
This is nuts. And this is worse as well.
Oh, okay.
So the alternate ending. Now, I read this on IMDb, to be fair. I don't know if this is true. Could be false. Okay. But it was on IMDb trivia.
Okay.
The alternate ending was Stu was going to be hired by Justin Long's mom to kill Christine. Okay.
Continue. That sounds stupid, but continue.
And then through no, it's worse, much worse. Because the ending of this movie is like the point for me, it's like the point of the movie.
Yeah.
But so what was gonna happen was through a series of crazy misconceptions, right? Stu was gonna show up at the train to kill Christine.
Mm-hmm.
And then accidentally kills Justin Long.
Oh.
And then Stu goes to hell.
That just sounds stupid.
And then it's created, Christine, her hell is being created on Earth because her beautiful lover is gone.
Yeah, I don't like that.
No, this is much better. Yeah.
I think you may have worse. Like when you first said worse, I thought you may have worse than her going to hell. I'm like, how does it get worse than that? Like, do they both go to hell?
Oh, she goes to double hell.
Yeah.
No, she no. It's just a worse quality ending.
Yeah, like it doesn't like. I feel like this is like you kind of said, it's kind of a full circle moment, kind of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like that. It's just like okay, I guess.
I feel like it's interesting in that like maybe if the whole movie played up like, oh, she is going to hell, and then she doesn't, but the hell is like, oh, she's alone.
It just comes. That seems like so out of nowhere. It's like the mom wasn't evil enough, at least that we saw in this version of the movie.
I mean, she was like slightly a bitch in the beginning.
Yeah, but to like hire someone to kill, you know,
and she's hiring the coworker.
Yeah, that just like what?
She's hiring Christine's coworker.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's like Spider-Man 3's ending, where it's like you want to do a team up.
Yeah.
It's like, what are these people don't know each other.
That's just weird. Yeah, I'm glad that did not happen.
No, I think everything in this movie builds up to the ending that
Pretty
it has
good. Yeah.
perfectly. It's feels meant to be.
I agree.
Yeah, that alternate ending. When I read that, I was like, what is this nonsense?
Yeah.
Like, it was like 2 paragraphs or like longer, like explaining that. It was like a brick of text.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is this bullshit? Like, was this like in the filming script so that they didn't like spoil the movie or something?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Glad that didn't happen.
Yeah, me too, because this movie would suck if that was... This would go from like, this movie's like a 3 out of 3 for me, 3 stars. I would call this movie like a 9 or maybe an 8.
Mm-hmm.
If it was like out of 10, if that was the ending, this movie would be like a 4 out of 10 or like a 5.
I probably wouldn't hate it that much after that, but it would definitely be an actively worse movie.
4 or 5 out of 10, I wouldn't say is hating it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like mid to like slightly bad.
Yeah.
But knowing that the movie's like awesome IRL, like compared to this, it's like terrible.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And I just think there's not too many movies I've seen, especially horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if I watch more like 70s horror movies or some shit. But where the ending is just like devastating.
Yeah.
Like the ending is just fucking shit.
Yeah.
It hurts.
It does hurt.
And I love the way that like at the end when he kind of is talking very passively about having the button. He's like, "Oh, you should have fixed your old jacket. I have the button." And then he like keeps rambling, and then it goes on to her
Her
just,
reaction.
like, fucking.
It kind of fades away.
Yeah,
like what you're saying. Yeah.
That is so good because it's like I was saying, like when I mentioned my favorite moment is R or whatever. That's like one of the few examples I can think of in a movie where it's like pure awe.
Yeah.
Where it's like I'm going to hell like right now, and I didn't think I was.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. It's a great moment.
I agree.
Great moment.
Good movie.
And there's probably some other awesome stuff we forgot to mention, like some cool camera stuff. You know, Sam Raimi brings his power.
He always does.
He always does.
Yeah. Especially in Doctor Strange.
Especially in Multiverse of
Yeah.
Madness. Oh, thank you for reminding me.
Mm-hmm.
That movie sucks, but that was a joke. So it does suck. The ending of this movie is very similar to the ending of Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. But, obviously, Multiverse of Madness is terrible.
Yeah.
But I just mean in the sense that, like...
It ends bad.
Happy ending! And then it's like, oh no!
Yeah.
So
I had a feeling that's what you were going to say.
Yeah, that's all I really wanted to say, but it just felt like a super... It's like the rest of Multiverse of Madness, where, like, the only Sam Raimi stuff is just, like, really cheap... You know?
Yeah.
Like, cheap bullshit version of, like, the stuff he normally does, and he's like, oh, like... I like a crazy, creepy twist ending. And
yeah.
they're like, oh, let's do, like, the worst version of that.
Well, it's also like Evil Dead 1 and 2.
Is there, like, a
crazy... Evil Dead 1, it's like with the demons like about to come and get him. And then Evil Dead 2, of course, he wakes up in the fucking past.
Oh.
When he thinks he's like, oh, everything can be good now, but he gets sucked into a portal to the past. So, yeah, it's like that, too.
Yeah, so I guess that's a Raimi thing.
Yeah.
Which is pretty epic.
It is epic.
But yeah, great movie.
Good movie.
Great movie.
Great movie. Well, thank you everyone for listening.
Thank you for listening to this
our first
epic first Halloween episode
of 2022.
Next week, I think Mouth of Madness.
That sounds fun.
Which is I've been meaning to watch that for a long time. And then get ready for David Spade-Vember.
Yeah.
After
I'm excited for that.
After the Halloween month.
Yeah,
so.
I'm excited for that.
We got a lot in store for you. We're glad you listened. Evan, thank you for showing me this movie.
Oh, no problem.
It's a good-ass movie.
It is a good movie.
I liked it quite a bit.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I might watch another Raimi movie after we're done recording.
You should watch
here.
Darkman.
Darkman is epic.
Yeah, that's a good one.
What's the other one?
The Gift. I like that movie.
The Gift.
Yeah. Crime Wave. It was okay. I liked
Crime Wave's alright.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I haven't watched The Simple Plan yet. I have the DVD, but I haven't watched it yet. Yeah.
Oh.
That and For the Love of the Game, I think, are his only movies I haven't seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting close.
I'll have to visit those soon.
Getting real close.
Yeah.
But yeah, successful first Halloween episode under the belt. We'll be back for Mouth of Madness, and thank you for watching. Please subscribe.
Please subscribe.
Please like.
Please like. Leave a comment.
Leave a comment. Go press Uncut Gems, the video.
Yeah. And listen to all of it.
But press 2x speed and press loop.
No, don't do that. Just watch it. Enjoy it. And then do that.
And then do that after.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Well, thank you all. We'll be back with the next Halloween.
Evan, will you say your classic catchphrase? Get in the flask.
Get in the flask. Sorry, I'm not having like a weird reaction on my nose right now. Get in the flask. I can't do it right now. I need to go. I'll go rewatch Little Nicky. Come back and I'll do it.
Can I try?
Yeah.
I'll try real quick. Get in the flask.
That was pretty good. Thank you all. Sam Raimi forever.
Sam Raimi forever.
Yeah. Fantastic. Goodbye.